That's what we're going to do. Greetings and salutations, everyone. How are you doing today?
Yo.
I just turned the microphone on, obviously.
Fuck daylight savings.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Damn you,
that happened.
No wonder why I felt so tired this morning.
Right?
Yes.
Alright, I want everybody to realize you are physically under one level of exhaustion.
Super.
As a real-life human being, you are suffering from one level of exhaustion. This is what your characters are going through right this moment in time.
No, I had that on time. Woke up appropriate time. I've been good. Cast all spells I need.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Not a spell casting class, I don't need to worry about it.
Have I been leveled up
Well,
here?
that's
You
good.
were leveled up into Barbarian.
Okay.
We weren't entirely sure, and Justin and I had to make a call.
That's fine.
We leveled you up into Barbarian.
Cool.
Not completely. There's, I think, some choice you have to make if you got a skill improvement or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
ASI
Like
versus
my totem thing, or
They did not choose that for you.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a
was
second
your
aspect of your
yeah,
totem.
Your totem feature. That's
Yeah.
that was-
it's largely utility anyway. So.
We'll take a look at it because it might make a difference before too long in this game.
Oh, okay.
Make an informed decision.
No pressure.
No, it's not meant to be pressure. It's meant to be just
Be prepared.
be prepared. So.
Yeah.
I always assumed, and correct me if I'm wrong, that when you level up, he can also change a totem if he wants to.
I don't think
So
so. He doesn't have. He picked the bear for the first level. His second level doesn't have to be also.
So right
Yes.
here it specifies you can choose the same animal you selected at third level or a different one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's already
So
selected the first one.
so he is a bear and he's a bear, eagle, bear wolf. Those are his choices. Unless he wants to take on skag stuff, in which case there's elk and tiger.
Yeah, there's additional
Yeah,
stuff, but I think the stag just increases my run speed or something, which would actually be kind of cool.
Wolf.
No, the
Better
wolf
smell.
utility one is different.
Yeah, the wolf lets me track and moves normal speed while stealth, which is actually pretty handy.
Except
Who
you
is
don't
stealth.
stealth. What about the eagle? What's that one do? Perception?
It lets me see it to a mile, I think.
I mean, it doesn't help when
That
there's,
was my first guess, but
misty
I wasn't
fog and
Yeah.
rain everywhere, obscuring the vision beyond 400 feet.
But
Yeah.
at the same time, like if we were up at the top of that tower, you know, that one mansion, I could be like, I can see everything from here.
Yeah.
Elk gives you speed while raging. Tiger gives you extra jumping while raging.
I guess that might have helped me against the monster house, except for the fact that it flopped me into the ground before I got close.
Oh wait, no, that was your first. That was your third level one. Your sixth level one, elk, is whether mounted or on foot. Your travel pace is doubled, as is the travel pace of up to 10 companions while they're within 60 feet of you, and you're not incapacitated.
And tiger is proficiency with athletics, acrobatics, stealth, or survival. You choose two.
Oh, the speeds.
Oh, you become proficient in stealth?
Yeah.
We didn't increase his proficiency bonus. What is that?
I'm
I
still
don't think that
plus
was the last one.
I think it's the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Because I'm still plus 3.
That's super great. I like it.
Decepticon?
It's a centaur in
Oh.
disguise. So it has like a fake rider horse in it
Oh
on
yeah,
the
no, I've seen
front.
that. Yeah.
Why are you so far forward on your horse there, bud? Don't worry about it.
Training is next.
Special kind of Egyptian mount.
Yeah, there you go.
Alright, so when we last met, which was quite a while ago for poor Jarrett, and for the rest of us, it's only been 2 weeks, the party has successfully obtained the skull of Ardenbolt's Hull, got to the front of Castle Ravenloft, and then last episode was carrying skull to where it needed to go, essentially.
That would have been useful then.
Yeah, well, along the road between Castle Ravenloft and Ardenbolt's Hold, you guys encountered a pack of werewolves that seemed to be hunting a friend of yours known as Keela. Keela's the young Valakian girl that follows around Destiny and Florn. Her brother had been turned into a werewolf. They proceeded to chase the werewolf pack down the main road, past the village of Valaki, encountered some fights, encountered some different things, I believe. They've discovered that those hunting packs contained small children.
They killed a bunch of kids.
Yeah, they killed a bunch of kids. Baracus actually rose one of the kids as a spirit specter, scaring the crap out of poor Keela.
Oh no.
Yeah, he had a little boy specter following him around.
That show's for any of us now.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube, episode 22, but we are on episode 23. Our party decided to take a long rest within Argynvulf's hold, if I remember correctly. You are a little exhausted, a little tired, but Keela is the first to wake up, waking you, Destiny, up. I'm really worried about Peter.
You guys didn't find him?
You know.
No.
No, he took the whole pack away from you. He ran away and they followed him. Are we gonna go after him? Lauren.
Do we know where he might have gone? Are the rest of us
I
awake yet? Sorry.
Yeah, this noise is waking you up.
Okay.
Sneaky Rogue says he saved us. Yes, we will.
Alright, like, can we do that now? What else do we have going on right now, guys?
Well, we know that
Zombies,
she wanted to, go to Crez.
Well, I think my brother's a little more important.
It's pretty important.
He did save us.
Yeah, he's got a whole pack of werewolves, and you guys are pretty good at kicking ass and taking names. Maybe you could kick their ass.
Hey.
We can try.
You do know that.
You're not my dad.
You do know the glass direction you saw him headed with the werewolves chasing him and Krez are both northwest.
Dude.
You gave me the pointy stick.
So do you maybe know some places he would hide? Did you guys ever?
He was captured by werewolves. We haven't really been together, Lauren. I don't know.
Maybe as younger kids, did you guys ever leave?
We never really left Valaki.
I wouldn't think so, but it's worth asking.
Mom kind of kept us inside the wooden palisade. She said there was a lot of dangerous things out there, and you know what? She was fucking right.
Language.
You're not my mom.
Is she older or something?
Huh?
She's magically
No,
aged
she's
4
12.
years.
She's 12 years old, just got an attitude.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like
She's
usually
been
they
traveling with us.
Yeah.
they get a little bit older before they start that rebellious stage.
Oh.
I mean,
You don't even
That's cute, Jared.
Oh,
That's
man.
cute.
There's a
we've
6-year-old
been
in the
in
room.
Barovia for
Wanna
at least a
go?
month now. There's a chance.
She's picked up on our wonderful ways.
Well, that's not what I was talking about at all.
Well, we have been
You were
slaughtering lots of
saying
Mine
things.
is young for these
so-
life
Speaking of Keela's age, you two spend the most time with her. Give me a perception check.
She looks exactly the same she always has.
She is human, you don't know anything about humans.
Pretty much.
Not enough. Never mind.
Look, I don't know where you went, but I know we gotta find him.
Agreed.
If we leave this place, you guys, did you have a map?
We did.
Well,
We
a
do.
thought
We surely
too.
do.
Another thought on, alright, if we do find him, he obviously has found a way to hide himself from these other werewolves while he's out in the wild. But if
Maybe
we
just
find
avoid
him,
stuff.
where are we gonna put him?
I just think
Because
he
they're
avoids
still gonna hunt for him.
Well, alright, then I would like you to do a nature check, but I'm gonna allow you at advantage because of your background, your order, which you studied.
And also, anybody else in the party knows nature too?
16.
16.
Not this nature.
Okay, so werewolves are pack creatures, and as a pack of wolves, there is an alpha.
Yeah.
Perhaps that could change the pack's ways.
Find the alpha. Kill the alpha. Peter.
Or if we help Peter defeat the alpha, so that he's the one that
In most
did it.
societies, the new leader that wants to take over has to go the other way themselves. If we do it, then it wouldn't happen.
So she
In my
poisoned the alpha. Then Peter killed the alpha.
I have it memorized.
Why don't you care
Try to
about
remove
fighting
his
his honor or
curse.
something?
They wouldn't
I
want
don't
him
know.
anymore if he's cured.
No,
Tis
yeah, that's. Peter wasn't really meant to grow up in Blackie and like be a tailor. If he's a leader of something, maybe he can do something good with it.
That's a good thought.
I mean, you guys say you're here to kill Strahd, right?
True. And we
Well,
could use
I
the
mean-
pack.
Right?
If we could get someone on the inside in the pack, like a new leader.
First things first. Let's go find
Realist?
Peter.
Yeah, we gotta find him first and see what he
First
thinks.
things first. Is the skull where it needs to be?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
It's
and
shiny.
we all
Did- I don't
have
know
a
if they wrote it down.
+1 AC and saves while we're in Valaki.
Did you add
Plus
that to
one
his
beacon
character?
of protection.
I did not.
Okay, that has not been added to your
I
character.
wrote it in a side margin.
I
somewhere.
wrote mine like up here, so it's just.
Yeah. So, Corsic, Jared, you weren't here last week. Corsic would know this. Shining across the land of Barovia now is a bright light coming from Argynvost's Holt itself. The main huge tower has lit up, and there is a bright light that you could see from the village of Valaki. You could see it from Tuscaloosa Pass. Just this bright, bright sunlight.
Okay. So my first thought, I guess, is more of a hope, is that hopefully nothing comes to try and break it or turn it off while we're
I
gone.
had that thought too.
Because there's
Did
no-
we want to go inside and speak with the keepers before we leave?
You are inside.
Alright.
You are inside.
Oh,
You've actually been in the chapel this entire time, and there are 3 figures slumped over the altar.
Alright. So the revenants, were they?
They were
And
revenants.
they cured?
I was
You
gonna
would know
say-
that with the beacon being lit, your religious background specifically would tell you that once a revenant's
Purpose?
purpose has been fulfilled,
Yeah.
it's at rest.
That's
So
cool.
nothing in this
Cured.
place is going to respond.
Alright.
Everything here is
Yeah.
really
Resting.
Yes.
Wasn't there that scary
Free.
guy upstairs?
Yeah, there was a really big scary guy with a really big sword.
Sword.
That would have been one of the revenants, and he would be.
Ooh! Since he's not using his sword. How big was the sword?
I don't know, it looked dangerous though.
Okay,
Do we want to try to do that?
That takes like 5 minutes to run up some stairs,
I
right?
don't know.
Assuming that there's
I
not.
think
All
we have
right,
more
you
pressing
guys
matters.
know how to get upstairs without any problem, and the party just heads upstairs, poking around through the rooms on the top floor. You find the broken out bathroom where poor Florin fell
Yeah.
through the floor. Past that area, a couple of alcoves, and you make it over to the central area that had that great big hole in the ceiling, all the debris on the floor. You'd walked into one of those rooms over there, and there was the revenant in the chair that basically has told you guys to get the hell out
Yeah.
here. And you guys were wise enough to turn around and be like, nope, bye-bye. You can see the same chair, humanoid looking figure sitting in the chair. What do you guys want to do?
Speak across the room. Hail! Are you finally at rest?
Do a perception.
19.
19. The helmet shifts a little.
It had been higher. 23.
Yeah, you just catch the helmet. Just,
Good. I think he might be
Gone?
gone. It's hard to say. Maybe my booming voice, shook the skeleton.
You didn't do that thing that you do.
Removed some dust from his vertebrae.
I will actually attempt to detect undead.
Your awareness opens up, you feel for the presence of undead all around you, and it is silent. You actually get the feeling that this entire place is at peace.
Cool.
That's a good thing.
There are no undead in this room.
Casting the detect magic ritual, I imagine? Or at will. Okay, that's cool, because you are that type of a character.
Just wasn't gonna be happy.
On the far side of the throne, you can get the glow of a magical aura from the School of Evocation radiating, like, literally this way in front of the figure that's sitting in the chair.
Sneaky Retro
Yeah.
says
Oh,
that's
yeah.
magical.
Oh yeah, from the sword. She indicates to you that the sword is magical.
Oh, is it a great sword? Or is it just a, like, what kind of sword is it?
You can't really tell because you're behind. You just see the pommel.
Okay, well, I will walk up to him.
Okay.
And I'll kind of just
Move into the room as well, just
Yeah.
in case.
Alright. There's actually a description of this sword, so let me try to find it real quick to read what it says. I'm fine with that. I can give our barbarian a magical weapon. Finally.
You can run, but you can't hide
I
now.
wanted to force him to take a bunch more druid levels to get magical attacks.
Yeah, so did I, but then I was all like, nah, heck with it.
What, druid 8?
Druid
Alright,
make sure.
Dude, that's like 6 more levels. The campaign will be over by then.
One way or another.
Okay, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aren't you lucky?
Let me do 1d10 damage to stride. That's it.
Then first.
No, my claws.
Oh, yeah.
No, I guess not. So you grab the sword itself. It comes free of the dead figure's hands. As you draw it back, the pommel itself, you realize, is platinum. And there is the shape of a dragon coming off of both sides of the handle itself. You would recognize that dragon as a silver dragon. Down the center of the great sword are a bunch of runes in Draconic. You read Draconic.
That's a good question. I don't. No.
I think they determined this last
I know
time.
Sylvan and
No
Riddick.
way.
Okay.
I don't know Draconic.
So it looks like a bunch of gibberish to you as you draw the sword back. You now wield a +2 great sword. As the body shifts in front of you, Corsic, you can see a shiny chain with what looks to be a starburst on it. It's the same symbol as on Malorn's book.
Huh. So, let me bring you further peace by using these against those who killed you. And then I will take the amulet and I'll kind of like, I'm not just gonna rip it off of his head. Right? So I'm gonna-
Reverently take
Yeah,
it
I'm gonna
over the
take it
skull's
off.
head.
Yeah, take it off
Okay.
and be like, Malorn,
Yes.
does that look familiar to you?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's a platinum holy symbol of the Morning Lord worth 250 gold pieces.
Just look, good party treasure.
Since obviously he won't be using it anymore, let's help him out. And I'll hand it to you. I thought about tossing it, but then I'm like, no.
Huh. I think Peter's friend was looking for one of those.
It was useful.
Who was Peter's friend again?
Craig.
Is that the guy whose sister you're supposed to save?
No,
Oh.
He's gonna be mad.
they're the characters.
We went there and there was nobody there.
Oh, really?
We stayed the night there and it was empty.
Oh, that's what.
Okay, it's a +2 great sword with a hilt sculpted to resemble silver dragon wings and a pommel shaped like a silver dragon's head, clutching a black opal between its teeth.
That's
This is the sword, or?
That's
Yes,
the sword.
that's the sword.
I knew there was a description of it, I just was in the wrong section of the book.
That thing?
You guys done looting bodies? Can we go?
Yes, exuberantly. Maybe I don't know the right word, but he doesn't care. He uses it anyway. Where he heard it from, nobody knows. It's one of life's mysteries.
Look, I don't mind you guys. Most of you are pretty cool. Some of you could be real assholes, but
Do what I can.
Ouch.
That guy's kind of creepy.
yeah. What's with summoning little kids?
You wouldn't do that to me, would you?
No, no, I would not.
Do a persuasion.
Me?
Yes.
Oh god.
Charisma is your good step.
Oh god.
What's your persuasion roll?
7.
That's not correct.
For the next 24 hours, Keela will not be on the same side of you as he is.
Go to
Oh, wait, that's
12.
11.
Is it 11?
Still.
Okay, 11.
12
She looks at you. She looks at you, Baracus, straight in the eyes. Look, I know you're not evil, but think about what you're doing, okay?
Okay.
You don't always have to just be evil, do you? Fine.
He's not always evil.
He is helping us.
So sometimes, little one, it's just in their nature.
Do a persuasion.
Sometimes life is not just black and white. Raise your hand.
Really, I actually have a decent persuasion.
Yep.
And I screwed it up. 6.
6. It's okay, guys. I'll keep working with them. Just don't have to like them.
Fair enough.
She's teaching her own life lessons. Such intelligence, Tristan.
They grow up so fast.
When you do that back, I'm sorry.
Let's be on our way then.
Get out of this place. It's creepy in here.
I'm sorry,
It's
guys.
finally at rest. We can leave. We've
All right.
done what we can for this place.
So, you guys get out of the stupid tackles.
I have a feeling nobody's coming.
You are walking down the front steps. You have the road in front of you. It's another wonderfully overcast, dreary sort of day. I have my map of the land of Barovia. I have no room on my table, so you guys are going to hold this. You. Down here. Hold the map. Okay. You are at Argenvolstolt, and you must.
Which is Q, right?
Which is Q on the map.
Okay.
And you must arrive or at least get to the village of Crescent.
Which is the S.
Right there. S. So you must travel from Q to S.
It's about a
So,
day.
I think
Every one of those hexagons is 1/4 mile. You can travel 3 miles an hour. All right?
I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
I think that brings me to my decision. I think I am going to be choosing to stay for my ability.
Well, write it down on your character
Okay.
sheet and make sure you understand how the ability works. So this is going to be a key important thing with this campaign is understanding how your abilities work.
Yeah.
That's not our job. That's your job.
That's right. That's a extra thing.
All right.
Well, I
All right.
believe you
Well, let's
explained
head
this. Our travel
This guy is
speed
not-
changed or doubled. Not necessarily our movement speed, like in rounds of combat, but the travel speed itself.
Do you guys want to set up a specific marching order as you are traveling down the road?
I walk up front with
Can you map out
Barbarian, our usual.
Well, at the beginning, at the front?
Yeah, it's usually you and me in the front. The 2 big ones.
I'm either middle or like more towards the back.
These guys are always, towards the back.
Alright, so from what I understand, we have Corsic and Maloran pretty much traveling side by side on the road
Yeah.
within 5 feet of each other. Alright. Immediately following Corsic and Maloran would be Baracus and Florin?
Yeah.
Okay. Arrow, do you have a preference? Usually trailing behind seems to be your thing a little bit.
A little bit off to the side.
A little bit off to the side. Then we have Destiny and Little Person.
Little person.
Destiny and Little K. Right? Alright. Am I missing anybody? Everybody's up on there? Okay. So, starting out the day, Corsic and Lauren perception checks. You have a time frame?
Yeah.
Alright, do one check every 30
You have
minutes.
to be within 60 feet of me.
It's a very short trip.
Yes.
Okay. Just one.
Sweet.
And you said who perception check?
2. That would be Corsic and Lauren, yeah.
15.
That's going to be a 17.
17. The path ahead of you is clear, the day is fairly bright, weather is decent. It is getting to be colder and colder. You're noticing that the season seems to be changing to winter time here in the land of Barovia. But the road is absolutely free of everyone. You can meet back up with the main road itself, and then you can start proceeding west towards the village of Cressy. Along your way, you'll pass a large stone bridge over a vast river, runs left and right. The trail continues on. As you guys are right in the center of this giant forest thing, you notice in the road ahead of you what looks to be a small child. Clearly limping, clearly dragging himself along the road.
Probably another werewolf. We should get
6 years old. So, Corsic and Moore, you spot him.
Okay.
Are you okay, child?
Are you Keela's friends? Do you know Peter? You know Keela? Or I'm Keela? I don't know you. No, I know Peter. What? Peter, Destiny, he knows Peter.
Where is he?
Insight, maybe?
Okay,
See
yeah.
if I can
Yeah.
tell if he's lying. Because, there's little to trust out here. 9.
I'll do the same.
Can't get a read on him. He looks very.
18.
You can't get a read on him. He looks very disheveled. Your instincts tell you not a threat, and he definitely does know Peter.
Are you hurt?
Very.
I'm gonna go up to him and
Okay.
help you.
Do perception as you get closer.
How far away down the road?
Oh, this is
suck
not
today.
here.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
I am way too distracted that he's hurt. Just rushing up to
What
him.
did you roll?
2.
2.
Oh,
Okay.
God. I'm really not taking in the details. I just want to go.
kill me, are you?
No. I'm gonna help you.
Persuasion.
Look at that. There's that's better.
What the heck was that? What's
modified
Alright.
Peter said you were good people.
We try to be.
The other members of the pack, they tried to kill me because I wouldn't follow their stupid orders and hurt people. I look up to him. He was brave enough to stand up against them and leave. I wanted to run away too, but I'm so small I couldn't get very far.
We'll do a cure wounds on him.
Okay.
You got to us. That's far enough.
So once he starts feeling better, he'll calm down a little bit. I have a message. I have a message from Peter. Peter said that if I see you guys, I was to tell you, what did he say? He said, oh, right. He said, they're after me. I can't run forever. I have a crazy idea.
Hmm.
I'm gonna run them through the zombies and undead to thin them out. I can't fight them all alone. Or something like that.
Do you know if you were followed or chased? You look, you were.
They were following me. They were following me. But that's when I ran into Peter and he gave me the message. And they saw him and they hate him. They ran off after him and I hid. I hope he's okay.
Do you have another place you can go?
I just want to go home to my mom.
Where's your mom?
She lives in Valaki. That's where they took me from.
Well, you may not be able to get back into Valaki right now. They're not letting people in.
Or werewolves.
Don't worry though. My mom got taken from me a long time ago, and I've been with these guys ever since. And they're kind of like family. Well, some of them. Maybe.
No! Then I start walking.
Maybe you could find a new family.
Yeah,
We can't protect all of you.
yeah, maybe. You hear that?
You're the
Listen.
Perceptions.
Natural 20 plus 9?
Natural 20 plus 9.
Oh
Far, far off in the distance. In fact, you're not even sure if it's real.
apparently
You hear howling. And he just gets so freaked out and terrified, he shifts right then, he turns into a wolf, and he bolts the opposite direction.
That covers that. Where was that coming
Beautiful.
from?
Thank God. That way.
That way we go.
Northwest.
The other way from where he was running.
Continue on.
Alright. So, how long did it take them to get from Argenbull to the road that leads to the village of Christ? Which would be,
Oh, that, yeah, it takes him 2 hours.
2 hours, which is not that long of a time frame. Still early in the day, but you guys can make out the walled village of Krezik up the road from me.
When we got within an hour of the past mage, I'm pretty
Okay,
tracking
well,
purposes.
then do the thing. Do the thing! And then you are at the road that leads to Krezik. What do you guys want to do?
What do I know about Krezik? We haven't been here yet, right?
Full of
You
crazy
have
undead.
not been here yet.
Somebody told you guys that the whole place was overrun.
With undead and something,
Zombies.
right?
Zombies, somebody.
Alright, I'm going to leave this on the table, so I'm going to need room to put this on the table. Alright, can you move my leg again, actually? Cool. And your dice, sir? Alright. Nothing on here is going to reveal anything. We are way off at this point in time. You guys have managed to come up the old Slavich Road and are down here, looking up this trail towards the village of Krelik. So you guys can see the rise, you guys can see the stone wall, and you can see way above it on the cliffside a huge stone-looking keep. That is the base of the keep is about 400 feet up the side of what looks to be a sheer cliff, but you can make out a trail that seems to be cut in the side of the mountain.
I forgot one of the things he was supposed to tell me.
Couple questions then before we head in. First, can we hear any more howling?
Do a perception.
I
I caught it, but
6.
I got me.
8. Okay. It is quiet as far as howling goes. However, you can see from the village itself pillars of smoke rising above the walls. Yes, you can tell that there are active fires inside.
And the second question, are the gates open?
The road is windy and the wall is too far away to be able to tell that.
Okay. Well, what do you say, guys? Are we going in?
I kind of have to. I mean, he's running through this place, and from what
Yeah,
we've learned
not
about
yet.
it,
It's too far away.
So this would
Do
be
a perception.
Maybe he was talking about.
Too far away. Unfortunately, Each one of these squares on the map is 50 feet. It is a windy, hilly area that rises quite steeply. You're just too far down a mountain to try to hear up a mountain, essentially.
Let's go. We just need to be wary because we don't know what might be on the road.
Okay. As you guys travel up, Torsic, Malorn in front, perception checks, and encounter check.
So we don't actually have any sort of map of the city itself,
Nope.
town.
No.
Absolutely not.
Because if we knew the layout of the town, then we could kind of get an idea of where he might enter and exit.
I don't think he's gonna have any plans.
It's true, we don't know what the gates are.
Yeah, we just know we hope there's one on this road.
Alright, did you do a perception?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't.
And with the fires, there may be some destroyed sections
18.
of Palisade too.
As you guys get up the trail itself, you've made it halfway up the path towards the village itself. You can tell now that the gates are closed on it. There are a lot of what appear to be, at least you can see 3 major pillars of smoke and then lots of smaller pillars of smoke, seeming to be large fires and smaller fires. To your right, you've got the hill that drops off, and you can see just the massive forest of Barovia that grows up the side of the mountains. From that area, you guys hear, hoo, 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 and it is echoed and echoed and echoed and echoed throughout the forest all around. It pierces the silence of the day. Everybody stops for just a second and kind of turns and looks towards the woods.
Any comes over here?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it could be
That direction.
anywhere.
That
It's
direction.
echoing off the mountains. It's so loud.
None of those were Peter. I feel like he's close somehow.
I would imagine he wouldn't want to howl and give us position away.
Yeah, probably
Do you know a direction?
I feel like he's inside, but I don't know where. Sneaky Rogue says we need to find cover.
Do a perception. Party. It's fine. Do you want to potentially notice what I'm going to say? Rogue sees it.
Holy crap!
Alright, so what'd you get?
18.
18, Destiny got 27.
21.
21.
25.
25.
14.
14. 15. So no one in the party misses it as a single wolf comes bursting out of the forest right here and is running with all of its haste up the side of the mountain. You see it get about a quarter of the way up and then it slides back down, and Destiny reaches over and grabs hold of Keela because she starts to run that way. Peter! The wolf catches himself in mid-fall and like starts scrambling as hard as it possibly can. It climbs up here and disappears into these trees.
Up the side, like
Southeast.
In here.
There's like, here's the gate or whatever, the abbey, and it's climbing up over the wall or these woods over here.
Maybe he knows the way in.
Yes, we need to get inside.
Alright, so you guys are going to pick up the pace then, running
Yeah.
towards the doors,
Yes.
dashing. Alright, you guys can get to the gates of the lackey seem to be closed. You can see there are holes in the actual gate itself that have been created by whatever the hell happened here. Take and look through them. Perception check. I imagine you guys are just going to stand there and nobody wants to look around.
And here we are again.
I'm still trying to pay attention to where
29.
Okay. Alright,
Second
Brax.
natural 20 on perception.
Brax, what'd you get? 18. Alright. You can hear the sounds of forms shuffling on the inside and low. You can definitely smell the stench of rotten and burned flesh, active fires going on.
Maybe we should try to follow where Peter went and go in that way. Maybe he knows a safer way in.
The walls are 20 feet.
Yeah.
It's a road.
What do you guys want to do? You're
Well,
at
I
the
was
base of
gonna
the wall.
open the door, but
Yeah.
the 20 feet
From the forest next to you, you hear the howls getting closer to your current location.
Okay, so we need to. It seems like he knew the safest way to get through there. So maybe we need to run around the wall.
I got a better idea. Give me a rope.
I don't have any rope.
Here's
Does it look like I can stand on top of the wall?
Do a perception.
6.
6. From inside the little archway of where the gate is, it's hard to tell. More than likely, though, everything that you've encountered, the wall from Valaki, the walls from Ravenloft, you would assume there is a spot up there to stand.
We can get you partway there.
I'm gonna misty step to the top of the wall.
That works.
You have to see the spot.
She has to fall 5 feet.
To
Onto
an
that one.
unoccupied space I can see.
Have them lift you up.
Why don't you just fly?
Because I can only fly 10 feet after I cast First Level
Okay,
Spell.
so what happens is you cast Misty Step, getting yourself right to the level of the wall, which allows you to see that there is a landing, and then you can fly that last 10 feet boom, right down to the wall.
So it's fun. And then, is there something I can tie the rope off to up here?
Looking around, this is not a place where there seems to be anything to tie to. There's a guardhouse a good 40 feet down there. You can hear the sounds of on the other side of the wall towards the village. You can see the light from fires just burning around there. There's nowhere really to tie to. What are you gonna do?
Lower it down and just try to hold it, and that was the point.
Okay,
Minus one up
do a
first.
survival.
Yeah.
9. All right, so you've got the rope in your hand. Who wants to try to go? All right, Destiny. With Maloran, who's going to take his hands, like he's been saying, and help you do an acrobatics. I don't believe you need to do advantage, because I think that's fine. 22. For you, it's like whoop, just like one moment, and then Destiny is up on the wall as practically Maloran like stepped her up there.
Cool.
But now Destiny and Florin are up there. All right, do a combined survival.
We're going flying.
That's what 15.
18. All right, both of you grab onto the rope. Are you gonna let anybody know?
Keela.
What?
All right, they say send Keela up.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
Keela starts climbing the rope. She gets over there. You guys can help her out. Next up,
I say
It's gotta be Baracus.
Or
Yeah.
No, he's smaller.
he's also stockier, but anyway.
Did any of you fill out the part of your sheet that says how much you weigh?
I did.
Pretty sure I did. No, I did not.
Yep.
what'd you get?
For acrobatics?
Athletics.
Athletics.
Are you proficient in one or the other?
No.
Okay. Then
7.
7. Yeah, you two are holding on to the rope. In Destiny's hands, she's got one hand on the rope as she's helping Keela up. All of a sudden, the rope goes taut. It slides through Destiny's hands, grabbing hold with Floor, and she slams into the wall, doing athletics.
I'm ready to catch him.
What? 6.
6.
Wait.
This is a bad
8.
idea.
8. The rope goes burning through your hand. Roll a d4. 3 points of damage to you. Do an athletics. 20. Keela lands on the ground, grabs the last of the rope. As she slams into you, you slam into Florin, but all of you have the rope. Maloran, you've lifted up Arag, and you went whoop, right back down into your hands. So you resteady yourself, do an athletics. You account as a size larger, so I believe that gives you advantage on this
Good. That
situation.
one wasn't super great. That one wasn't much better. Athletics, 13.
13. You're able to hold on to him, and you just lift him right back up. Again, Arag, do another.
It's only 10 feet, man. Oh my god.
Fuck it, I'm dropping back down. Somebody else go. Fuck this.
You guys hear the howls from the woods behind you.
Alright, so Baracus is up.
Okay. What am I doing?
Athletics or acrobatics?
Oh goodness.
19. Baracus is going to climb up the rope. Now with Baracus, Destiny, Florin, and Keela all holding onto the rope, I'm not going to require the 3 heaviest characters to take the roll. What I am going to say is that it takes a bit of time, and with that time, I want Destiny to do a perception check, Corsic to do a perception check, and more.
Good.
I'll declare I'm going last.
That's what I figured. 24.
Oh, come on!
That was
25.
25, and Corsic.
5.
All right.
4 or 6. Excuse me.
All right. After Baracus gets up the rope, Corsic is the next one up because he feels he has to be the strongest to be able to pull those 2 guys actually up the thing. Maloran, you are the last. You are looking over to the right-hand side to the forest, trying to keep an eye on things. You begin to see the pack bursting through the woods towards the village.
I'll get him up, and I'll tell him as he's going up that my idea is to, if it's last second, I can go invisible for a second to climb up the rope.
So the problem with that is I can go invisible for an hour. Climb.
All right. Destiny, with your check, you turn and look. There is a pack of about 10 undead right below the wall where you are. There's also a burning house over here. But you begin to see the werewolves come in through the back side of Krezik. You can actually, from your position on the wall here, begin to see some like white splits between the trees, between the smoke, and at that, all of the undead just kind of in that direction. They start filtering away from your current position up on the wall. At this point in time, Corsic gets up to the wall himself, and then he pulls Maloran up and pulls Erag up. You are all on top of the wall. Right now, there's a fire burning below you, 20 feet. In the village, you can see just smashed trees, smashed houses. You can see remains of things that are pulling themselves along the ground towards the noise on the far side of town. You can hear the howls and the growls of werewolves echoing throughout.
Our plan might be to try to go the other way then, to skirt since...
Do a perception group-wise.
This should be fun. Yep.
I said he was going to roll my mat, and I've been rolling in this thing the whole
I
time.
know. Roll on the mat and see if it's any better.
No, it's
Okay.
I'm going to keep that one first.
24.
22.
22.
13.
13.
23.
23. 8. Some of you are able to catch the form that you see on the trail up the side of the mountain on the turn. Right here, you can see a white wolf running up the road itself. And Keela, I bet that's him! He's going to the big place on the hill!
But we should too.
You bet that's him or that's him?
Well,
Far away.
it's really far away. He had a good lead on him.
Well, we can make our way that direction, but also try to let these horde of undead and horde of werewolves work on each other a little bit along the way.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Thin the ranks.
It looks pretty clear down there. I think they're all gone.
Yes, we can get down. Let's find a way down.
Alright. Taking that the big people are up on top of the wall now itself, you do look down the wall about 15 feet or so. There seems to be an iron, what might have been a weapons stand. It's something that mounted to the wall that you didn't have the time to notice while getting people up there the first time. Tying the rope off to that.
I was specifically looking for something to tie the rope to.
You were in a hurry, and the perception roll was really bad, okay? Gotta give the DM some creative
Side note for anyone trying to figure Keela out. You two would have noticed when she had to grab the rope to save you guys from falling over. Keela is good at everything she's tried so far. Not that. She was just adding the weight of a child. She's actually not good at skiing.
Gotcha.
It might have been that extra weight that saved your ass in that moment in time. Who knows?
Good to know.
So you guys secure a rope, which you're not going to retrieve, to the top of the wall, climbing down the wall one after another. You can make out burned houses, knocked down trees, smashed buildings all around you on the inside of the wall. Looking around, there does seem to be a trail that leads over to the main road of the village. It looks to be the clearest path There's just debris falling everywhere, small fires burning.
Clear path is good, we gotta get to them.
Yeah, and if we can pick up the straggler werewolves along the way, that couldn't hurt. Every little bit we clear helps people.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But none of them close. They all, you could hear the sounds of the growling werewolves, you know, yip, and whatnot. The fight is happening, it's just not happening near here.
Living people?
Do a perception. The sounds of battle, the sounds of fire, if there was somebody in here, you probably wouldn't be able to hear them.
They're not making noise.
Yeah. They're probably being quiet so that they don't get found. So,
There's werewolves too.
you guys start picking your way through the trees to the edge of town, and ahead of you, you can see a giant area with knocked down trees. And in this area, you can see werewolves and zombies battling it out. I believe I'm going to leave that part up to Justin as to where they are, how many of what they are. Looking at this, though, however, you have two options. You can try to run through it, or you can try to pick off targets. Do a perception check.
No. That is a lot.
Okay. What'd you get, Corsi?
I got a 22.
Okay. And Baracus?
You said perception?
Yeah.
That's a modified 20.
Modified 20. The fighting is thicker to the left and to the right. It seems like a pack has broken off from the main section and is fighting a really tightly packed group of undead. You can see about 15 of these zombies. As you are standing there watching them, a werewolf comes up, grabs one of them by the arm, and the zombie just literally punches it so hard that the arm gets ripped off. The werewolf slams down and doesn't look like it's getting back up as zombies are piling on top of it.
Thanks.
To the right-hand side, it looks like there's a bunch of houses, debris, and a large fire. Going that way, you're going to have to deal with the fire.
Falcon punch!
So whereabouts are we, like, as far as...
You're about this large section of road right there. Where
So kind of we're seeing this in the open area?
Yeah, right here. But it's
Okay.
it's thicker over here, and it's, you know, you got a big, huge fire that all these houses there that are on the map are currently burning.
So we essentially want to head north.
Right, you guys want to head north, and you guys are down here.
So that tree, I'm sorry, which direction did you say you wanted to head? Up that way?
Yeah.
Okay. So that tree is next to that big burning fire, whatever that is. How big is that tree?
About 20 to 30 feet before you wind up getting to the trunk itself. That's the, you know, the leaves and everything like that. So you got another 70 feet of just a gigantic freaking tree.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
Massive.
they're massive trees. All right.
Yeah.
So if you just wanted to hop up onto the trunk, like from the ground to on top of the trunk.
You can see fire licking the trunk itself. There's, like, if you try to climb that, you're gonna get burned from the
Oh,
fire.
okay, so the tree is on fire.
Not yet. It's gonna be soon. You can tell. But
Slight wind blowing this way. It's
Okay.
all right, roll initiative, guys. Let's just do it.
Yep. All right. Sounds good.
Yes.
Oh, hey, it's my dexterity. Or no, the saving throws, not initiative rolls.
Everybody's got their initiative. All right, Justin.
Is that the first time you rolled crappy in your initiative?
What's the color code?
black is undead, red is standard bad guy.
Werewolf.
Werewolf bad guy.
Wow.
Yeah, and if they can like one shot, you know, one punch me on a werewolf.
You don't know how long it's been fighting that werewolf.
All I saw was it go.
And you've got the
just, like,
ogre.
slam that werewolf into the dirt.
I do, but I'm just
They're dealing
getting
with
it
rock.
right here since I'm over here.
Well, he converted them before he left. They beat it.
challenge.
What is zombies?
Okay.
If you want one to take all day, I'll hold out. You got it. Got it handy. Alright.
Like a couple of them.
Alright.
That's fine. Alright, are you ready for initiative or Justin's still getting himself ready over here?
Okay.
Just writing numbers.
We didn't,
You just
we didn't
added
know
two
what you were
creatures.
using.
Yeah. Everybody having fun?
Yeah. Alright, initiative people.
Oh, it any fun.
22.
22. Aro. Anybody else?
10.
It's 22.
12.
Is 10. Corsica is 12. 8 for Rogue.
Lauren?
17.
Whoa.
17.
Baracus?
4. Wow. 4.
You guys got all the crappy rolls out right now, huh?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I got my crappy initiative.
So,
I know that show's not that comfortable.
where are we? Because that's gonna.
I don't know. Justin, where are they?
Yeah, that was the thing
You're,
too.
you're the master of combat.
We'd have been moving in the same order,
general.
I think.
Alright.
We probably would have fanned out a little bit.
Arrow's way back here at the back. Little cave.
I think it's
There you are. That's where you are.
right there.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Eric. I know Justin's still getting ready, but you guys usually take forever to make decisions. So yes, I'm gonna start this and just pay attention to what each other does to try to help out, or not. We just trying to move through, folks. We have to make that decision. That's why I said it out loud.
So skirting around the left side of the fire, I can get 3 squares above the left side lump of the closest one. One more to the right, and then up 3. That one, right there.
Right there. Okay.
That's as far as I can get.
All right.
Did you say how big that tree was?
Big.
Big.
Super big.
Big.
Super big. Too big
The,
for me to get over.
so the fire
Yes.
is part of the trunk.
It's in the
Alright.
fire itself, and it looks it's
it
licking
fell
the
over,
tree.
busted up, and then the fire is continuing to go up.
Maybe I'll try to move
Huge.
past that small pack over there, huh?
This one.
No, the 452.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Alright.
Are you guys invisible?
No.
No. Mine only lasts a turn, so it's not worthwhile. And only once a day.
They might not even fight.
It is me, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Who's after?
No.
No,
Bad
there's
guys.
a
Bad guys.
I see it now.
Justin.
I'm almost
You might
done.
not be in a good position. Stay on.
I'm setting this up for you guys so you can be ready.
Well, that's good. I'm ready. There. Are you ready?
Alright. Now, okay. And drop this as the last. Because that's how it is. Okay.
There's a lot of bees in there.
Alright, so you guys have not picked a fight?
As of right this moment in time, all
Yeah, I
all
get
chapters
3
arrow
turns
gets
if
run
we're
that far. So
Okay.
the werewolves
The
and
werewolves-
zombies are going to be fighting each other.
Yep, werewolves are gonna take some shots at some of the zombies.
I wouldn't even, honestly, it doesn't, unless they engage
I'm just gonna
physically.
arbitrarily
Yeah.
do damage here. Average
No,
is
unfortunately.
6,
All the chairs are currently being
and
used.
they get
Sorry.
2. So we're gonna say that one gets that one gets that. Alright, you guys are good.
Then it's Lauren. What are you gonna do?
I will. Well, just.
If we get close to that, are we gonna, is it gonna burn us?
Do a perception, but there's a chance. The wind shifts or.
I'll go to right there.
Okay.
30 feet.
There looks like you're good enough to not take any damage from the.
Didn't that, oh. It's like I just crush it. Almost did. Yeah, if we're trying not to engage, then
Corsic, and not gonna be left behind.
So if something engages at me, then I'll Sacred Flame it, I guess.
Okay, so if something comes towards you, you're gonna Sacred Flame it. Comes at you. Come at me, bro. Of course it.
So I'm going to crowd around that fire over there. So I'm gonna actually skirt the right side of that 3-man group there.
Okay.
Along-
5, 10,
along-
15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
I'm gonna try and stay as close to that tree as possible because it's not burning yet.
Do an acrobatics. 35 feet of movement.
Yeah.
Come on.
Dang, I did it again.
So
And I paid the price for it.
What'd you roll?
Friggin' 8.
8? Okay, so that's 35 feet of movement. To get here is 45. You
I'm gonna double move. I'm not
Okay.
gonna attack anything right
45, 50, 5, 65, 70 feet of movement.
now.
Yeah, 80.
Let's go ahead and move one more.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what you can get. Moving through the branches became difficult for you, difficult terrain to try to squeeze through that space, causing
Okay.
double movement.
That's fine.
Alright, anything else?
Um,
Took the dash action, you taking a bonus action.
No, I'm not raging right this second.
Okay, moving on, after Corsic.
I do have my weapon now.
After Corsic, zombies get their turn, they're bashing away. Who's the closest? Corsic and Ara, perception checks?
29.
Looks like the werewolves are winning despite being outnumbered.
That doesn't surprise me.
So I'll look before I'm not paying attention to who's winning.
Third, natural 21%.
That's a great old head magic attack. Alright,
They just have the fall apart and keep attacking, I think.
no, the greater ones. The ones that are in Tales from the
Those. I thought you were talking about the strong zombies.
No, no, the greater zombie.
Oh,
DM's
no.
good +1, guys.
Actually,
Plus all books ever. And some non-books.
which are better. That's right. That,
DMG plus and then that's it. That's what you get.
It's just saying, it would last longer,
Yeah.
keep them busy longer. Alright, whose turn is it after zombies?
Florin.
Okay, so we kind of had a plan. But I turn around to Keela and I said, I need you to be brave and trust me. And I'm gonna grab her
Do a
hand.
persuasion.
You thought
Yeah.
that was just gonna happen.
She was gonna help.
Nod.
She's-
You can assist.
It's not bad. Was that advantage?
Destiny is going to sacrifice her action to help you. She's going to take the help action if you want to do that. Okay.
No, I mean, she's good. So persuasion was a 24.
24. Alright, what do you got?
We're gonna run and then disappear and be on the far side.
Okay.
Nothing's gonna hurt you.
Alright.
Okay, so we're gonna run right here and thunder step, which is right here.
Okay. Which is, from this square
Yep.
here is your point that I believe the thunder step goes off, and this square here is your arrival point, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
it 10 feet?
Yep.
So those 3 take damage.
Constitution saving throws.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Boom. Cool. Alright, and then anything within how much distance?
10 feet. of
10
where
feet.
it's here.
5, 10. Alright, so that's 13, 5, and 2.
Come on, Keila, we gotta reach 88 miles an
13,
hour.
5,
This
and
works.
12. 13, 5, and 12.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, 5 fails miserably. It's too busy with the zombies. 13 fails miserably. Yeah, they all fail miserably. Where's my firing bag? Firing bag.
You're fired. Feel free to use your instance. They hate players.
Yeah, that's what you can't see them.
21.
21 points of damage to those ones. Anybody dead or?
I don't know. Let's see if the zombies die. That one dies. That one dies. The other one doesn't. It was 21? That one is actually looking really bad though.
It's like, ow!
Yes.
Thanks!
Okay, that's Florin. Destiny. Run towards fire on right and dash through it. Fire resistance. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay. At this point in time, I want you to make an acrobatics. 17. Alright, so it's going to require double movement to get through here because you've got to climb. But that's 10, 20 feet that you're moving through the fire. Even with fire resistance, you're still going to take some fire damage.
That's awful. 4, so 2.
Per 5 feet.
Yeah, I did 2.
Oh,
I
okay.
take 4 for each 5.
Alright. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 45, 55.
And hop down the other side.
You got 60 total?
Corner right there.
Do another acrobatics. 22. Alright, you're gonna land here, but this is ending your turn in the fire. So you are going to take fire damage now.
Poor Baracus, he's a
Since you're standing in it now.
Where'd everybody go? Reese!
1, minimum of 1.
Alright.
No.
Okay, and then Baracus.
Okay, let me look at the spell real quick.
What spell?
Dimension.
Dimension door, right?
Oh,
500 feet.
Okay, asshole.
It is 500 feet.
That's why.
You can just literally look at a point within 500
Oh, well
feet.
then.
You can end up right next to me.
All the way to the end. Just all the way to the end.
Okay.
What the fuck, man?
He lasted additional
He
one.
doesn't even have to see it on that
On
one.
that
Just
count.
to know I'm going 500 feet that way.
Hang on. I'm not done with Baracus' turn. Upon appearing in that spot, Baracus, looking around you, there is a pack of zombies with one werewolf immediately to your right within 10 feet. There is another pack of zombies and werewolves within 15 feet to your right, and the fighting is heavy. One of the werewolves turns and looks in your direction.
Alright, time to Zoidberg away.
So I know I held my action,
Yes.
but can I cast a bonus action spell this round still?
At the beginning of the next round. Unfortunately, if you want to do that, we're going to try to keep it a little bit faster. So I don't want to necessarily go back.
Well, it wouldn't affect anyone.
Then what is it?
Expeditious retreat on myself.
Yeah.
Alright. And then
Burn
it's just
yourself
cast
off.
and done. Yeah.
Alright, beginning of the round brings up Arrow.
Uh-huh. Well, I suddenly, I gassed myself out a little bit after that first sprint.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the Dread Ambusher first turn thing.
Yeah.
So, let's see. In 25, 35, 40, 45, 50. I feel like I can get to Florin if I run through the branches of the one that's fallen over to the north of me
Alright.
without running into those.
5, 10, 15.
Yeah,
Do
so-
in acrobatics.
Oh lord. 8!
8.
I'm trying to bludgeon my way through.
25, 35. You don't want to go to there, so 40 feet of movement. You are near fire, so that's going to take some fire damage, unfortunately.
2.
50, 55, 60.
Yep.
Okay. Era, you can do that without much of a problem. The acrobatics is to basically try to avoid the difficult terrain through the trees, but
I did the
you guys are
calculation
not
with that in mind.
This is-
I was just like, nah, fuck it.
yeah, alright. That's
Breaking branches.
which brings up the werewolf pack.
At this point, since you're running through and between them, and 5 doesn't even have a target, he sees all of you. He'll scream out, getting number 1's attention. Number 1 turns around. Those ones!
Those ones!
They're Peter's friends!
Is that the-
Stop them!
They hate that shit.
Is that the Arnold Schwarzenegger wolf?
Yes.
Those ones! Get them!
Oh, they're in hybrid form though.
Oh.
They've all been in hybrid forms. So it's clawing and teething,
Oh, okay.
not wolf.
So the only one that's free to do anything would be 5, and it would probably charge Corsic.
Corsic, a werewolf comes at you.
Be my guest, be my guest. Right through your chest.
Alright,
Nice.
so
Okay, hybrid form does this.
Yes.
This and speed.
no, it's this and this.
Yeah.
These two. Yeah. No, claw and bite. You can do either one. One with its bite and one with its claws, or spear.
Alright, bite and claw at you. It's an animal, damn it. 19!
That beats.
3 piercing damage.
We're not doing lycanthropy by the way, folks, so we're not even gonna worry about that.
17!
That does not mean.
Aww.
Alright,
Because of the +1 from the beacon.
the only werewolf that is free, the rest of them are gonna beat up on other zombies if you wanna
Yep.
do stuff with that. And then Lorne.
Alright. Gonna do my bonus action first?
Yes.
Bonus action dash.
Bonus action dash, because that
Because
is
you're a rogue now. Because you passed the spell.
All of a sudden, for this round.
Alright.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
You got it right the first time.
Well, one way or the other, unfortunately, he's trying to avoid the opportunity attack.
There's gonna be one no matter what.
I
He
got
goes to
2 actually, but I only want one of them to be from a werewolf.
Oh yeah, because now the werewolf moved right next to me. You can't.
25,
Okay.
and then 30, so
Okay. You'll get an opportunity attack on
Yeah.
you. Justin, you can roll a claw.
On number 5.
Yeah. At Lorne.
15.
no.
Okay.
30.
Yep.
35, 40, 45.
So zombie gets an opportunity attack.
No, it doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, it did. It just didn't hit.
60.
It doesn't even look like it
60.
attacked. It just kind of went,
All right.
Then,
Sacred flame.
it's attacking you. Let me see if I. No, I can't. No, wait. It's the range. Yeah, Sacred Flame on number 5.
It failed.
damage, lots of damage.
Yes, it.
Wow.
Damage dice.
Wow. Dave. Woo.
See, your dice will, so if he rolls them, they're gonna hate him too.
Which one are you hurting? Number 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're worse over there.
13.
It's the towers.
13 to number 5.
Yeah.
Magical blah blah blah.
Radiant.
I did not go
Magical
blah, blah, blah.
Alright.
You got destroyed.
Corsic.
Alright, so I'm going to take my gleaming, beautiful sword and I'm going to cleave this.
The clean blood.
Oh! How did I miss that? I was looking right at the map, too.
I know, I didn't see the
He
erase
rolled
either.
it just now.
Okay, so I have my sword raised to do it, and
Yeah.
then he killed it like, oh, cool.
Yeah, the beam of light lands on it and it shrivels up, dies, turns into a human body at your feet.
I kind of give it a little kick, and
Okay.
then run the other direction.
Alright.
So I'm going to go straight up.
5,
And
10,
yeah,
15. You've got a zombie that's already took an opportunity attack.
Ah!
from Lauren.
And then
Are you going to stop there?
No, I'm going to keep
Okay.
going.
15,
Yeah.
20.
Mhm.
Well, it doesn't get.
I know, I'm rolling to see what it would have been.
25,
I'm basically going to go up to
It would have missed anyway.
the
by
south
the
of
way.
Malorn, like
30. Do you want 35, 40?
one below that. One below that, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's just your movement. You haven't even taken your action.
No.
Alright.
Can I ready an attack action in case something chases after me or my
Yeah,
friends?
absolutely.
Okay.
Ready your attack. Zombies. Zombies all looking
They
around.
don't, they don't particularly care about you.
You notice the zombies near you, Veracus, have beat down the werewolf, and the werewolf is trying to get up, but there are just too many zombies on top of it for it to physically get up. One of the zombies just bit into it and realized that no flesh is coming free, looks at you.
Hey,
Stands
so all
up,
the zombies are getting up
starts
no.
getting up and
Hey,
coming
man.
over towards you.
Hey man, I'm just as dead as you guys are. Come
yeah.
Alright, Florin.
I'm gonna.
Keela's hair is all like slicked back and static electricity
Yeah.
sticking up at a wild angle, and she looks at you and she's like, "Let's do it again."
We're gonna wait in case I need to, but stick with me. Though.
Fun. Okay.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
Okay.
and then
You could see that the fighting gets a little bit thicker up where Baracus is. That's just 30 feet of movement right now.
yeah. So I see what he sees. Like
Yes.
They're starting to come
The
toward him.
zombies from the left-hand side of the road and the right-hand side of the road have pinned down the werewolf. You can see more zombies coming out of the village behind them, looking like maybe the pack is breaking away a bit.
We need to get through here as fast as we can. So I want to drop Storm Sphere on that group.
On that group over there.
The one that's starting to move toward him.
Okay.
It's a 20-foot radius sphere,
Okay.
and within 150 feet.
All right.
So
Well, and what do they have to roll? It's kind of the same.
each creature, when it's here,
saving
strength.
All right. Let's use these stats for those group of zombies and roll 5 d20s. So.
You 3 passes, 2 miserable failures.
And if they pass, what happens?
It's save or take it. There's
Okay.
no half.
Is it
So,
difficult terrain or anything?
It's difficult terrain
It's
until
difficult
her turn.
Okay.
That's 6 bludgeoning.
Oh,
For the fail, it's not that bad. And then I can use my bonus action
Okay.
to shoot lightning.
All right.
So I'm gonna do that at the one closest to him.
Okay.
It's open the sphere.
Yep. Make an attack roll.
So I get advantage because it's inside.
That's right. Burn all your spell slots now.
Hey!
Before the actual battle happens. I'm fine
You know
with that.
what?
Wait, this is
Nothing's gonna happen if we don't get there.
What?
So that's 18.
18. Okay.
How much was the first damage? 12 or
6.
Six.
6.
Alright.
The zombie that gets, stands up, the spear starts to form around them. Struggling against the wind. One of the zombies is coming towards you. Lightning bolt streaks out of the spear, hits it. It's going to be. Oh, I need red.
One of those cartoon things where it turns black and goes blink blink.
It's going to be right there. What number did it?
That's 1.
Is it one?
They're separate. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
The
no,
Wile E.
separate.
Coyote
They're
gets
far
my
apart.
large.
Okay. One there. That's the zombie. After
Full on is destiny.
Destiny. Emerge from the flames. Run north. Dash north. Ready. Short sword. Holy smokes. Okay.
Just ward.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. She's just waved at Keith
9 damages
for the lightning
for
bolt.
the lightning bolt. Safe.
Yeah.
Zombie.
I thought it was 12.
Yeah.
No, the initial damage is what you asked me. That was 6.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
And the lightning was only 9?
Yeah.
Oh.
You never asked me for the lightning. I rolled it.
Oh, 12 was the armor class that she had to hit.
Oh, okay, that's where I'm getting the damage. Okay.
Well, that would have actually missed.
I'll add 3 in.
A 12 attack.
It was 18.
Okay.
I don't know where the 12
Then I don't know where
came from.
12 came
I don't
from
know where
either.
it came from
You have 12
I
right
have
down.
no idea what you're saying.
That's
I
just
found
much
where I
far
rolled it.
as well.
I know.
12 of them died, that's what I
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I do.
Nice try.
No one can see how
I'll add 3.
Baracus. Baracus, you are up. You're standing there, the storm sphere to your right has got zombies floating around inside of it. To your left, you've got a pack of zombies that are coming out of the houses towards you. A female voice in your head says, "It's time. Open the ambulance."
Okay, alright, I'm gonna pull out the amulet and not know what to do with it.
Baracus pulls out the amulet. You guys see a flash from his location of like a black light beam just kind of shoot out in a circular motion, all spreading out from Baracus. You guys can make out forms that have stopped like 15 feet away from Baracus. The sphere of blackness kind of coalesces into little balls of darkness that starts twisting and shaping into creatures that you guys have seen before. One of them has a very long, spindly arm that just slam into the werewolf onto the ground, the spear just sticking right through the werewolf. Another one over here in your storm sphere seems to be like trying to reach for zombies. These 4 little things with these massive teeth on them crawl up to a zombie and start like mowing on its leg or whatnot. That was your action. What do you want to do now?
Next adventure taking place.
God, what did you do?
Yeah, that makes me like him more.
I told you he was creepy.
Creepy, yes, but look what they're doing.
That may be something we have to
They're
deal
helping
with
us.
next.
I don't know about that, but
What are you doing?
What are you doing? That was your action you still have?
stand there in shock. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. That's a fair assessment. Eric.
So I'm going to use my bonus action to do the cunning action to dash, and I'll let enemy right in front of Destiny.
Run.
And then I will action to dash to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I can get 2 spaces down from the rocket.
1, 2?
Yeah.
Running arrow. Go away.
Nope, not worth it. Nope.
Alright. That brings up the werewolf pact. Justin, roll a d20 and add wisdom to it.
That makes sense. They didn't have much savvy.
The number 1 is going to take his action and you notice all the werewolves kind of like turn from their battle for just a second and glance over at what appears to be the pack leader, and then the werewolves start like backing away and withdrawing from the zombies and trying to escape from them. You can actually make out forms of wolves that have broken out of the forest higher up on the trail and seem to be heading towards the building, or at least trying to get away from the zombies. That brings up Maloran.
Alright, move to as close to as Eric is, like, just with the regular.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah. And number 1 is a zombie.
Number 1 looks like a zombie, yes.
Because the regard towers.
Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame. Alright, so Sacred Flame, dexterity saving throw for one of these guys. That's a failure.
Alright.
Nice slide.
16.
16 radiant damage.
Number 1?
Yeah.
Secondary number 1?
Yeah, secondary.
Yeah, second.
Corsic.
Alright, since they're backing off and not chasing after us, I'm going to make my way up towards the front where the Baracus is.
35, 40.
Okay, so that's my movement speed for now. What exactly can I see? I can see the creatures there.
Yeah, you see what appear to be just a large number of zombies between you and essentially the road that begins to lead up to the abbey. Okay. You've got about 10 to 15 zombies, but most of them look engaged either by the remaining werewolves or the creatures that just appeared.
Okay. So everything that's outside of the road is on fire right now?
No, it's not. It's just difficult terrain due to buildings collapse, trees collapse, so on and so forth. And you also have a hill they're dealing with. Right
Okay.
now. So it's an ending sign.
I almost feel like it would be a better use of our time to try and just skirt around this battle, because
There doesn't appear. I mean, look at the map here.
yeah, it's not much.
There's
Hillside.
you are right here. Okay, so yeah, there's hillside on one side and cliff on the other side.
Okay. Is there any sort of path here?
Yeah.
Is there any sort of path through the combat, or are we gonna have
Right now, yeah, the road is clear itself.
No, I mean like all the zombies that are in the road fighting.
The road is clear.
Oh.
The road itself is clear. They seem to all be engaged with either the remaining werewolves or the shadow monsters.
Let's keep going. Then, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm basically gonna.
Double?
Yeah, I'm gonna double and I'm gonna start
Off the map.
Let's get going.
Okay. Then it brings up the zombies. The zombies down
They're
here are
slowly
going to
chasing
start
the wolves.
slowly chasing the wolves, trying to punch wolves as the wolves are trying to get away, trying to bite at them and whatnot.
I have
Floor.
I'm gonna double move. As I run by though, I'm gonna lightning at number one probably.
Is it a bonus action?
It
Yes.
is.
Okay.
Advantage, so he's still in the starter.
15 plus 8.
That's a lot.
Well,
Run, dash, dash. Destiny is gone.
Alright.
He's up the road.
Yeah, Destiny's already up the mountain.
Forlorn.
Yeah, no. Forlorn's already gone, so.
Destiny.
Right.
Destiny's.
Destiny's up the mountain.
Brachus.
Is your story man up the town?
No. I'm just gonna start running.
Okay, turn around, start running, holding the amulet in your hand.
Yep.
You sort of feel like you've consumed some charges from this thing. Like it had a set number of charges, and you activated some sort of ability where you summoned shadow monsters with it. You're not entirely sure how drained it is. It is pulsing with power as these things are kind of in existence right now.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, brings up Eric, which I imagine Eric's just gonna
Try and keep up with Destiny poorly.
Alright, Werewolf Pack is going to try breaking away and getting away from the greater zombies. They're going to be climbing the side of the hill. You're going to see them kind of like skirting you guys, staying out of combat. Most of them have shifted back into wolf form and are just like booking up the mountainside. That brings up Maloran. Are you going to attack my poor remaining zombie?
No.
Okay, so you're just
I
going to...
will expeditious retreat and be with the group and whatever I need to do.
Now too. Exactly.
That's Claire.
Dash cleric.
Gonna do like DDR game.
Yeah.
Clarence.
Alright,
Dance Revolution.
so what I'm going to do now, if it's okay with everybody, is we're going to take a quick break so that Justin and I can set up what happens at the gates of the Abbey itself.
Test two on the map there, the bottom corners.
No, it's...
Well, I mean, the
yes,
picture in the
yes.
bottom left corner of the whole map.
That's the gatehouse.
Yes, that's the gatehouse to the actual
To come in.
village itself. There's actually a different picture of the Abbey itself.
Okay.
So here's the road that actually leads up the mountainside towards
Gotcha.
the gates of the Abbey, and then the actual courtyard to the Abbey. Yeah, this is 700 feet here.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Currently, your party is basically trying to do their best to potentially run up this extremely large. Yeah. Yeah, you are also having the werewolves that are ahead of you quite a ways. So.
I almost want to like shift into my bear form and just keep running.
All right, I'm going to shut the mic off though for a few minutes. We'll see everybody as soon as we are ready.
What?
Yeah, witty banter.
You can name a character that.
Hey Julie, how are you?
It'd be better if I could talk louder.
So witty.
But that's not good for roads, though. Fire's
And
better.
it's sneaky good.
You get paid.
She's practicing her thieves' cant.
Yeah. That's why I said. That's why I said I can't. Thieves can't hear you.
At this point in time, Keela will gain proficiency in thieves' cant. If she doesn't already, I think she does.
First
She
level.
does now.
After today's episode, she's been studying Keela or Destiny's silent language of codes and talking to the thieves' cant.
She's also been studying how to put people in place.
I don't know what you're saying.
Absolutely. Okay.
Is this a landfill thing?
I'll reach across the whole table. Thank you, Jules.
Yeah.
Let's show
I
my
wonder
teeth.
what would happen if you just use that fudge, and put it in your coffee.
Do it again.
It would be really sludgy at the bottom.
Yeah. Does it need to be sludge fudge?
Constantly stirring.
You like put it on the fork and stir it up until it all melts.
You ready, Baracus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to creamy. It's better
Alright.
than chocolate.
It's too much work for me, but it sounds
Finish
good.
my fudge here. So, we just are coming back from break in about a minute to get back to the game. I did turn the mic on a little bit early so everybody heard some of our witty banter and our inner conversations. Don't forget to join Gear Gaming at our Dungeons, Dragons, and Drinks, which are happening when?
The 31st of this month at Woolly Market,
And
the 14th of April.
the 14th of April, back again at Farmstrong Brewery.
We're doing one at Woolly Market.
We are doing one at Woolly Market.
Nice.
Grace has set up an event over there, and we will be doing another Dungeons, Dragons, and Drinks
How gracious.
from 4 to 7 people.
We are also allowing, you can bring the same character back if you're a returning adventurer. We're gonna try to get kind of a tougher, one shot if you wanna bring your character back, cause some groups, they were able to level up to level 2.
Absolutely.
If you want to be at the same table with certain people, we're allowing that, you just need to make a note in your reservation, and we will do our best to make that happen.
Take a look at the Facebook page for the events that will be coming out from Gear Gaming.
And if you wanna request a specific DM, as long as that DM is available that night, you can do that as well, just again, make the note in the reservation.
Cool. Right on. Back to our home campaign, Barovian Badasses. So, the party has been running quite heavily for the last several minutes up the side of the mountain, between the village of Kresik to the abbey that is on top of the hill. Very large stone building. Coming around the first corner, you guys see the road ahead of you is clear of all enemies, but you can also make out the white forms of wolves managing to actually leap up on top of this thing. They have been trying to climb the hill. They have finally gotten to that level. They turn and they take off above the road that switches back above you guys. You guys continue running, trying to cut as much time off of your run as possible. Cutting corners. It takes a good, unfortunate, about 5 minutes of straight running. So if you have a spell that, like Expeditious Retreat, that only lasts a certain period of time, 10 minutes. 10 minutes? Excellent, excellent. So it's going to be, yeah. Everybody is just doing the best they possibly can to keep up.
Once I got out of range, storms still would
I'm assuming that this does not fall under the travel speed increase of my stag ability.
Travel speed increase of your stag ability. What do you think, Brendan? Master Justin?
Sure, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah!
Alright, with
The same stuff will be active, the same stuff will be inactive.
Yes.
That's why.
Yay!
It's okay.
Alright, so running up the side of the mountain, I'm gonna go ahead and put this back over here for you guys to see where I'm visualizing. You guys have come up this path right here, you can see the road ahead of you that turns towards the gatehouse. So you guys are right about here on the map, and you can see the gatehouse. You guys can hear the sounds of wolves growling and this loud "Cthulhu, Cthulhu."
Do you see any wolves?
Do a perception check. 25. You don't see any wolves. There is a patch of woods beyond the actual gatehouse there. I'm talking about back here. There are some woods off to the side here, but scanning that area, you don't see any wolves.
Let's move
Gates
forward
are
to the
closed?
gatehouse.
There's no actual gates
actual
that you can
gates.
see from this angle. The gatehouses stick out a little bit from the wall, so you couldn't actually see in between them from your current angle.
Let's go.
Let's go up and see what we see.
All right. Do you want to try to go stealthy up to the gatehouse, or are you just guys
I
running
think
up to
stealth
it?
is kind of blown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to be coming from inside, past this low wall. It's only about a 5-foot wall, though.
Huh.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. No, 10 foot. Completely 10 foot. Yep. So, it's a lower wall. You can tell it's not necessarily meant to be defendable. It's just like an outward perimeter.
It's an abbey.
Yeah. So you guys get up to the corner here, and looking across the large space towards the central courtyard, you can see a bunch, approximately how many?
There isn't a door to it.
Oh.
Alright. Out front, you see
8, looks like, werewolves. One of them is throwing himself, boom! He's in hybrid form up against the abbey doors. They kind of, and then go back right. All of the werewolves are in hybrid form.
Okay. I'm gonna do a quick look around to see if there's any other forms of ingress, like around this side of the abbey over here.
All right, well, you're standing in this spot,
Yeah.
so do a perception check. Do a perception check.
That's, yeah, same thing. I got a 12.
Okay. There are windows. You can see them, but you can also make out clearly iron bars on the outside of the windows. This is somewhat defensible from the ground floor up.
Yeah, the outer wall is like 10 feet. This is like a 20-foot high. This is the defensible part.
Yeah. You can make out the windows right near the chimney. You can also make out the trees and the graveyard out here, but there's bars on those windows.
Looks like we have no choice but to go through them.
You got quite a ways away. Each square on here is 10 feet, so you're,
Around back, maybe, is there another entrance?
It looks like there's another way through.
I don't think
Come
we have
out
time.
and face your punishment, coward!
We don't have time. We gotta go.
Boom.
Do any of the
Boom.
other the werewolves, do any of them look like bigger or like, is
do a perception check.
Okay. Can I do it? I guess, yeah, perception. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, that's 23.
Number 2 is the biggest werewolf you've ever seen. He's the one trying to beat
He's
down
very
the
He's
wolf.
bigger than my
large.
uncle.
Yeah. Very
Okay.
well, not as big as a werebear,
Not as big as a werewolf,
but
the biggest werewolf.
larger. He's got much more muscle. All of these guys all standing around. Yeah, you would probably figure that's the alpha right there.
Okay. So number 2, the one beating on the door.
The one yelling through
Yeah.
the door.
All right. So
Betray the pact and die.
I'm gonna signal to everybody else. And
What you looking for, Sam?
like, let's go.
Over here.
If we go to
Hey.
that
What is it?
wall over,
The sword says
if we go to that
Oh.
wall, I can get us inside.
Which wall?
Yeah.
The wall hidden by the trees there.
Here?
I can get inside. I can get us through that wall.
Okay, let's do it. No time for debate. Let's go.
All right. Everybody running towards the gate. Do a perception check.
19.
Okay.
Hey!
18. Okay. Do a stealth for the group. Yeah. Oof. I don't think it matters. You guys begin coming this way. You see what looks to be about another dozen werewolves in hybrid form, all hiding in the graveyard.
Super.
So you guys are running up to the wall.
Yes.
Yeah, just trying to
You
get
guys are
around
gonna,
the corner.
you
to
guys are
hide
gonna
the-
stop
Yeah,
right about there, and you are going to
What's
see.
the idea?
Are we gonna put ourselves up against the wall or something to try and avoid being seen?
We really weren't. We were just trying to hurry.
Yeah.
Just we could get to that
Holy
wall. We were
shit.
hoping to
You had 28
break in.
werewolves
Yeah.
at one point in time.
Well, we didn't try going around behind, so that's nice. But
So,
we know they're there. Did we see
They
if they saw
seem
us?
to see you. Nobody declared that they were going stealthy. What do you guys want to do? You can hear one of them.
Whatever you're gonna do, do it
Sleet
quick.
storm. Sleet storm.
I can start casting my stone shape on that wall and make a hole through the wall. Make it.
Okay. Then
Do it, we'll defend.
roll
Make
initiative.
a stone door.
I hear that people are trying to do stuff, so I'm gonna declare.
You know what? No. Okay.
When I call for an initiative roll, anything you want to do is going to go off then. The sleet storm is going to cause the initiative to start. Your action will be to start stone shaping. Your action will be to burn.
And running it if I have target. Is that
It's going to be your action.
Then I'm not
When
gonna
she's
cast
going to boom the sleet storm down, that's the
Yes.
call for initiative, because they're going to come at you. That initiates the combat, in my opinion. Does anybody have over a 20?
24.
24 and 23.
Not ready. Wait.
Alright, so I have.
You idiots went around the back of the building, you have to wait.
Do you want this facing you or them?
Them, I was just getting it ready.
Okay, so Erog is second, Florin is first with 24. Alright, so,
11, 2, and 17. One group of them has 17.
alright. I got a 20 on Destiny. Alright, anybody higher than 20? Alright, who's the next highest?
18.
18 for Corsic, which puts that there, and then
One group of bad guys.
one group of bad guys at 17. 16, 15, 15 for Baracus.
I'm 8.
Alright, Lauren is 8, and what do you got?
11. And bad guys.
11, and then Lauren, then bad guy. BMD. Okay, so casting Sleet Storm, what is the area effect of Sleet Storm?
A lot radius.
40-foot radius.
40-foot radius, so instantaneously this entire area is like sheeted with ice, which basically up there and way back here. It's even up the side of the actual abbey, sleet begins to form on the side of the abbey as your thing goes off. That brings up Florin. That was what you did. Now they're all looking at you like you are their next tasty meal. You're up.
That's right, let me mark that off.
Is that obscure vision or anything?
No, it's difficult terrain.
It's difficult
So,
terrain,
You're gonna
and it's heavily obscured.
be
Oh,
Right.
these guys are obscure, so they can't look around.
here in order to see that spot to cast it.
Listen,
Alright.
I'm gonna make for where he told us to go, that he was gonna try to do something.
Right in the middle of the wall. Like,
There's a chimney here.
Well, it's to the just north of the chimney.
Okay,
Oh.
so you're aiming for this particular
Yes.
spot in the wall. Okay, Florin, so you're 5, 10, you're gonna come over here and stand right there, looking that way.
Yeah.
Okay? Do you have one for this group?
This is gonna suck.
Maybe they're trying to get to the
Or making a door, not a hole.
If they're behind it, they're
So we can close it.
8
Okay.
feet away.
Alright, then,
Oh.
well, I'm saying,
Sure.
you have an issue, then we can go on.
Make it big enough for him.
I don't know about everything.
make it 10 foot more.
Let me look. Depends on how thick the wall is.
That's cool.
See what they do.
Alright.
Going around in the lab.
Arrow. Oh, well, sorry.
Ready chaos bolt if they
What level chaos bolt?
first.
First level.
Just first.
Okay.
And what's your trigger?
Okay, so
If they
a
come around
werewolf.
the corner,
Okay.
I'm gonna try to.
Alright.
First what you
Arrows.
Where
So
am
you're
I?
running between the gatehouse and here right now.
Okay. So I will get up next to
10, 20, 30. It's approximately 40 feet to the wall.
Okay.
So
so
30 feet gets you right here.
I got 35 right now because of the first turn.
There you go.
So before I move out of sight of those, well, I can't see them because it's heavily obscured right now.
Okay. Yeah. You can take a disadvantage shot if you want.
Well, I wasn't gonna do that. I was gonna cast a spell, but if it's heavily obscured, I can't see them. 'Cause-
Is it an area?
no, it's a target.
Then yeah, unfortunately.
I will go ahead and use my bonus action to stand right next to Florin,
Okay.
and then I will ready an attack action with my magical hand axe.
Sweet.
Destiny?
Me and Keela go to the wall, ready burning hands when I have targets. Alright, so Destiny is going to be here. Little K is going to be here. She's ready and burning hands that way, trying to cover another flank so Mallory can get up.
back here? They've gotta be after Peter. Corsic.
He has a plan.
So I say,
be a good one.
Persuasion.
No matter what happens,
Yes, it is.
stay behind me. Get that door open.
and I'm gonna bonus action turn into a bear.
So with 40 feet of movement, you can get to the wall.
Yeah.
Where do you want to be?
In front of everybody, like put myself between them and the corner where all the wolves are gonna come through.
So right here?
Up against the wall as close
Right
as
here?
possible. Yeah.
You right there?
Well, no, out of sight.
Okay.
Yeah, back. I don't want them to just be like, okay, there's a target. No,
Okay.
I kind of want to surprise them, you know.
Okay. Are you
Yeah.
trying to be stealthy?
I'm not gonna roar when I do it, so that's stealth enough, I guess.
Alright. That's your bonus action to shift.
Yes.
You had full movement to get there, you still have your action.
So I'm gonna ready an attack action for the first person to come through there.
Okay.
And
Cool.
then I'm all the shit out of there.
1 through 4. What do they gotta roll starting in
Dexterity
storm
saving throws.
here?
Speaking of rolling, I'm gonna roll my health.
Cool, that's a fail, a fail, a fail, and a fail.
So they all fall prone.
Okay, 1 through 4, all fall prone, use half their movement to stand back up, which gives them 20 feet of movement.
Yeah.
No,
they have 15 left.
They have 15
Yeah,
left.
and I've written to 15.
Well, they have advantage on perception checks, or are we gonna say that they can sniff them out? Even though it's heavily obscured.
Let me see the word. Rely on hearing or smell. It's just obscured. It does not say anything about obscuring with scent or
No.
sound. So yeah, they can find them.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, well, let's go 5, 10, 15. Corsic,
Yes.
Arag, and Florin and Destiny. A creature has come into range. This is going to trigger Corsic's ready to attack. It's going to trigger Florin's ready to attack, and Destiny's burning hands.
It's not, it's
No,
not.
it's not in range.
Within range. Okay,
Yeah.
so but Florin and Corsic though.
Yeah, Florin and Corsic.
Alright, Corsic, take your 1 attack. Oh, you have 2 attacks if you want to use them.
Yeah, I got it.
Extra attack feature.
Okay, roll hit.
That's. Well, I was
Over here.
That's fine, you hit.
Okay.
Alright,
So
so you
let's-
swiped it with 1 paw. Okay, make your bite attack.
Okay.
Make your bite attack.
Okay.
Hits, okay. Florin, roll your attack. He has half cover due to the bear. Don't worry about rolling damage, you don't do magical damage to werewolf.
Oh, right. Maybe I should.
Oh, it's a 10.
It's a 10? Okay, so the spell slot is consumed,
It already was.
the thing goes away. That's number 1, moving out. 5, 10, 15, number 2. 5, 10, 15, number 3.
In the meantime, number 1 is going to use its action to
Difficult
attack
terrain,
you.
they can't move that far.
Oh
It's
crap,
half
it is, isn't
movement.
it?
So that would have changed the reading.
Well, number 1 still could have got there with its
Number 1 could, but
action
2,
to
3,
dash.
and 4 are gonna be.
Alright, so half to stand up, action to
Yeah.
dash.
Yeah, so they don't
10,
get
20. Right, if they dash, it's How much movement?
Yeah, if they dash, they get an extra 20, so they have 35 total after standing up. But
That's
using
fine.
double.
Yeah. Boom, boom. Then they don't get as far, but they do get there. Okay, there.
Cool, Raucous.
30 feet of movement puts you. Oops. 30 feet of movement puts you pretty much right in one of these squares right here.
Left of Destiny on
Left of this right there.
the
Okay.
perfect, and I'm gonna bring up the packed weapon.
Bring out pack weapon and shield.
And shield.
Put the amulet away real quick. Alright.
And then, I haven't used, yeah, that was actually.
Yep.
5 through 8.
Prepared. That's important.
5 through 8 all fall on their faces as well.
So they're just gonna move right
Dash. Lorn.
Well, now I'm trying to decide if this says I can make a door or not. You could shape a large rock into a weapon, idol, or coffer, or make a small passage through a wall, as long as the wall is less than 5 feet thick. Would assume it's less than 5 feet thick.
I guess you'll find out when you get there.
You could also shape a stone door for its frame to seal the door shut, and the object you create can have up to 2 hinges and a latch, but finer mechanical detail isn't possible. So what I was hoping to try to do is make a door with a hinges and latch. I wouldn't think
I
so.
was just seeing if there's any notes
Indication.
on anything like that. Like in this thing. Or if it was what it was made of, but it doesn't really say anything anywhere. So
Cool, it's made of wood. You can't get through it.
That would suck.
It was made of wood, and wouldn't get gotten through on it.
True.
They're beating a wooden gate right now. For all you know, they did go through. You people went around the back. Instead of fighting the clear and obvious encounter in the front with a reasonable number of enemies.
that's gonna be then. Let's stop drawing maps in preparation. You know,
Yeah,
just start-
Yeah.
That way they can't screw it, and then we'll draw a map of what they do.
Helps, then we know which side to try and break through.
Yeah.
Alright, the thing is 20 feet tall with battlements on top of it. I'm going to make a determination. Maloran, your movement speed of 30 feet is going to bring you here. You
Okay.
have
Alright.
you have your action and your bonus action left on you. As far as whether or not you can get through this wall, I'm not going to tell you right this second in time. You
Alright.
have this plan, this is the plans you are executing. You're gonna have to respond to the situation.
Alright, I'm trying to.
Okay.
As my bonus action, I will dash to the wall and cast my spell on the wall, trying to do something to get us through.
Okay, do a d20 plus your wisdom modifier then.
I would assume that I start casting
Like
the
an
spell,
arcana
I'd be
check.
able to tell how thick it is, or if it's gonna work. Arcana?
Yeah.
7.
7. Alright, highs or lows?
High.
Alright. The magic gives some pushback on you as you begin to cast it, but the windowsill right near you actually begins to warp and distort and open up underneath the window, giving you a small passage. It's going to require difficult terrain to get through this small tunnel that has just appeared in the hole. It is no more than 4 feet tall by 4 foot wide.
Curling.
Yeah.
I just kind of do this and I'm fine.
Right.
Can I continue through my movement through?
We're gonna say that that's, you're gonna unfortunately have to be on the outside to hold this,
Alright.
to concentrate on the tunnel. Your Arcana check, or your wisdom was kind of to manipulate slightly thicker than 5 foot with
Yeah.
some sort of a passage.
Okay.
This is the result. So you feel that you have to concentrate to maintain this.
Alright. I can do that.
Alright. Then that
Everyone
brings
through.
9 through 12, who all do their thing and follow down. So boom. And they can't even get through each other anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Excellent.
How
Excellent.
12 freaking dice?
That
Excellent.
was the whole point.
It was perfect.
Alright, and then
This is an exercise in patience.
Right. For what?
Lauren, what are you going to do?
There's a tunnel.
This
Yeah.
is an exercise in how the hell did you pull this off without getting us murdered?
Because stories, that's why.
As I'm making for the tunnel, I'm going to tell Keela, right behind me, because I
Okay.
want her through.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if I can make her go through before me.
Alright,
I'll
so
try to push her that way.
you're gonna get into the room and reach back and grab Keela.
Yes.
Suddenly you're in combat with a bigger, stronger thing than you can handle in that room.
There you go.
That's not the room?
It is, but it's not in combat.
I'm having a hard time.
Oh, okay. Alright, Florin and Little Kay are in the room. Use basically all of your movement to get up and your action to help
That's
her
fine.
out of the hole.
I want her
That
out of
brings up
danger.
Arrow.
There's a hole in the wall.
Yeah. Arag is inside, taking up a defensive position, putting his back against the corner.
Yeah.
Alright, then after Arag is Destiny.
Through the hole, in front of Keela, look for danger.
Do a perception check. Alright, I will tell you what you see once everybody gets inside the room. That brings up Corsic. There is a werewolf in your face. What are you gonna do, Wes?
I can't attack and then move later, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Can I
You
hold
can
my
take your
move
movement
action?
at any
It's fine.
point.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try and, maintain, basically block his vision of the behind me, what's happening. So, I'm going to rage. This goes down.
So if you're, one word there, is if you're trying to hold a move action, then you can't make an attack action.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, so that would be your dash. You can't move outside of your own turn unless you hold the dash action, which gives you
Okay.
movement for that turn.
Okay,
So you
so,
can make your attack now and then hold movement for.
But if you attack,
When
you
he's-
won't be able to
Oh,
hold
no,
your
that's,
dash.
Yeah.
yeah.
so if I attack now, I can't
One or the
move.
other, right.
So if you're trying to move outside of your own turn, then
Yes.
because it sounded like you were gonna swipe and then move, which is not what you.
Well, I just kind of want to hold his attention is really all I'm trying to do. I don't need to attack him.
You're not even gonna attack him, you're just gonna hold it. for
Well, the goal is to get into the abbey, and I'm holding them off as long as I can. until
Alright,
I-
make an
So-
athletics check. Let's do a grapple, contested grapple. If you're trying to prevent him from going anywhere,
What I mean is I want to be able to move and not have to wait until my next turn to move. I want to wait long enough for everyone else to get in and then go in
so
myself.
you're going to ready your move action.
Yes. And kind of like flavor-wise, I guess, just try to body block him. Not actually attack him.
Intimidation, essentially.
Do an intimidation. Yeah,
Yeah.
do intimidation.
I am raging though, so. I gotta use.
Rage doesn't help him.
You're right, it doesn't. But
Alright,
come on,
should make a.
that's a 7.
Okay. You think you're doing a great job, keep it up. That's Corsic, and then group
Okay.
1 through 4. Alright, so the guy standing in front of Corsic is gonna.
Bite you in your ugly face. 13.
Yeah, no.
On a bear?
No, actually. I guess he's 14.
Actually, you're.
Actually, it's 15 because of the
15.
bonus.
Yeah, it's 15 because of the Argonauts told you.
Well, the second one doesn't hit you either. Right, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
The other 3 move up and hit you.
Well, they start to turn in the magical dooming.
2 passes and 1 fail. Finally got double-digit numbers.
Number 2 is gonna get a bite then on Corsic, because the other 2 are trying to make their way.
Right. Both are awful. 2 passes, so 2 of them get there. Oh, I guess, yeah, there's no room. Alright.
Okay. You wanna do another attack?
Yes.
Go for
But I
it.
can't hit the damn bear.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Yay!
You're too far away.
No, you're not.
He's right behind me.
Damn it.
Lathander says no.
Do a no.
You're
It's
concentrating.
instantaneous. There's just a hole. He's not concentrating.
For the flavor of this, he's
Yeah.
concentrating on maintaining the spell because it's thicker than 5 feet. I mean, I'm looking at the wall here, and if each one of these squares is 10 feet, I'm just going with it.
DM says do it, so
Yeah.
we're doing
I'm trying to make it a little bit better. Do a perception check. It's not going to be very high.
17.
Okay, so if you rolled a natural 1, you might not have seen the critical hit out of the corner of your eye, but you could see it, you could prevent it. It's still a hit. It does
5 piercing damage,
which is now 3.
and then it hits you with the other thing, and it misses.
Alright, that's group 1 through 4.
Yep.
And then Baracus, what are you gonna do? You pulled out this sword and shield. Gonna
Well, if
make
we're
your way.
going through the wall, then we're going through the wall.
You're crawling.
Yeah. And
I'm
mage armor now. So
Okay.
I've done that all.
Okay. Yeah, you can get in there.
It's so
No
he doesn't
problem.
get scraped by the wall.
5 through 8.
5 through 8 saves. They're all in.
3 passes, 1 fail. Wait,
One.
what's your save? This one's close.
16.
3 passes, 1 fail.
They don't really have anywhere to go. So they kind of go all piling around.
You should try and
They can go off map, but I'm not worried about constantly
Can you close it?
keeping
See
that
one.
track because I have a feeling what's going to happen is he's going to dart in and thunk, and then we're going to be separated. So
Yell at Corsic, get in!
okay, do you want to start crawling your way through?
Do I think I can hold it for him to
Yeah.
come through?
Yeah, you can hold it for me.
Maintain it as just maintaining contact on the wall.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll move in then. Difficult terrain, you said, for me.
I know.
Yeah.
Limp crawl.
And
your arms through.
yeah,
And
push
then-
Baracus back a little bit.
Alright, and then Corsic.
Let Corsic
And then
in.
I'm gonna go ahead and
So you readied your movement, which unfortunately means that they all have attacks of opportunity on you.
fine,
But it's 3 attacks of opportunity.
go for it.
Clock.
Move. You're gonna be here.
And then I will drop bear form to go through the
Yeah.
1 hit,
And then
9 piercing, so 5.
I was gonna say, did you drop bear form before you moved or after?
After.
Yeah, move, and then.
Higher AC would be before.
Alright, that is going to take you guys out of initiative order at this moment in time. You are in what looks to be a main hall. There is a gigantic wooden table in the middle of the hall here. There are cobwebs all over. As you are looking around, you see the wooden beams that support the floor above you. Hanging from the central beam, directly in the center of the table, is what appears to be a bit of rope, a noose, and a body that is currently kind of spinning. It looks to be a human male. There is absolutely no decay on this figure.
The rope has a little bit of. Wait, no. Give me a perception check.
23. Yeah, good question. I'm coming at
25.
25.
Well, hang on before you forget that. Let's see what you had
It's
there.
that dark
What was your question before?
It's a 26 perception check.
What did you have for you had a?
Produce flame, throw it at the rope, try and catch him. There's a hanging body.
All right, roll to hit.
11.
11. You create the flame in your hand and pitch it at the rope. As the flame gets closer to the rope, those of you that are looking at it, watch as dim light starts to form on the rope, gets a little bit brighter and spread out from the rope itself. As the fire hits the rope, it gets consumed and the whole rope is now glowing gold.
This is going to be redundant with detect magic.
The rope is magic.
The rope is magic. Yes.
What school?
We didn't really determine that. So
I've been working on this weapon this item for months to try to figure that out.
Weapon, you say?
It's not a weapon. I haven't really figured out what it does, so we're gonna say a new school of magic you haven't seen before.
or several schools and unable to determine the exact nature.
Okay.
Did the wall
It's
close
glowing with a
when I
rainbow
crossed?
aura.
Do I get a ping
Okay.
about my destiny?
You are feeling very drawn to that rope. Yes.
I need to get him down.
All right, Corsi.
So, like, how high, like, where is he in relation to
There is a 15-foot gap between you and the next floor. You could see also some stairs that do lead up to a higher level up above.
Oh, okay, so he's on the second level, hanging out above an open area? Or?
No. So you're got a wooden roof.
Yeah.
Please don't do
In.
that.
Oh, sorry, I took the map.
You do. You can't see
I
it.
took the map. I'm sorry.
We
If
see
I-
an obvious way to reach the
If
roof.
I grabbed a table, shoved it underneath him, could I stand up and like hold his feet?
Do a perception check. So you guys are standing in the
Why do I
middle of
keep
this
doing
room.
that? I don't want to use that. That was even worse, but okay. I'll keep
You
it.
guys are in the middle of this room right here. There is a chair on the ground with its back. There is one chair currently missing. It looks like a chair that might have been on top of the table and had boom down. You figure if you took that chair, stood it on the table, you would be able to reach.
Okay, so then I will go ahead and
Go.
Okay.
if I could reach it without using the chair, that'd be great, but if I have to use the chair, I will do that.
I'm gonna try and hold this chair steady.
Alright. Well, with the advantage, you guys climb over there, and you are able to begin untying the rope. Who's gonna work on that? Because I imagine you're holding the body. Somebody else can grab a chair and climb up.
Reach up pretty well.
All right, do a survival.
Climb.
25.
25. Yeah, you can undo the rope that's up there. Corsair can gently begin to lay the body down on the table. Everybody lowers him down. Take the noose from around its neck, slide it up over the face. You can see the marks of the rope into his skin. Do a medicine.
Who has the rope?
Yeah, she probably 22. 22. The figure is breathing. You don't suspect that they are actually dying.
Alright.
Do I get any magic aura from the person?
No.
What's he look
Looks to be a young man, mid-20s or so. Now that you've got him down, you can see across the back of his robe, a lot of blood has recently spilled. There's also 2 great big gashes in the back of the robe. And taking a look at it, you could tell that there might have actually been wings sticking out of his back that have been cut off.
I'm gonna move up to the. It looks like there's stairs that lead up to the second floor. I'm just kind of peeking around and make sure there's nobody.
Are you gonna go up the stairs or just?
No, I'm staying on the same floor.
Do a perception.
Trying to do it sneakily.
Or his hands and feet what?
Bound.
They are not bound.
18.
Okay. The figure isn't currently stirring. It just looks to be, the eyes are closed and it seems to be possibly asleep or unconscious. You can tell it's just dark up there. It doesn't look like there's anything up there.
So, I noticed, you all noticed that the gashes on his back, where we would surmise that wings would be. Last time I checked, werewolves don't have wings, so I don't think this is Peter. So I'm gonna go ahead and Corsair's gonna
never kill himself.
That's my first instinct was, oh crap, that's Peter.
And it's not a kid.
Get him down.
It's not. It wasn't a little boy to begin with.
I never seen him outside of his wolf form, so
That's true.
We don't know that.
So I'm gonna walk around the ground floor towards this middle area where they're trying to break it. Well,
It's
On the
outside.
floor.
that's outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
You
Probably
can walk
not.
towards the door.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk towards the door,
Okay.
and I'm gonna not too loud, but I'm gonna call out, Peter, are you in here?
Do a. Okay. So you're just calling like out in the room in general.
Yeah.
All right. You don't hear any response. You've gotten all the way to the door, but nobody responds to the Peter, are you here? What do you guys want to do?
Keela, do you sense him at all?
I think he's outside still. I don't even know who this is.
I'm gonna try to message him.
Try to message Peter.
I don't know how far away he is, but if he's within 120 feet.
All right. What are you gonna say?
Are you opening a door? If he's behind he'll cover, he can't hear you.
I'm about to open this door and like peek out. So that might be enough to let the message out. I just want to peek out to the courtyard. I don't know if she's doing it, but I'm going to be doing that anyway.
I'm gonna try and it says 3 feet of wood blocks it, but I'm just gonna try it. I don't know where it
Okay.
is. I don't necessarily wanna.
Oh, yeah, because it doesn't.
What do you say?
Peter, are you okay?
Who's this? No?
Lauren with Keela.
They've got me.
Who has you?
I'm hacked. They're gonna kill me. Help!
Where are you?
In the courtyard.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah, of course you can hear this loud from the from the yard outside.
So, okay, so he's like,
He's outside. We need to go now.
Okay.
Down the stairs.
Heading for the door. Guess we'll leave.
Has the person stirred at all?
No, they have not.
But he's breathing on his own.
Yeah, he looks like he's unconscious, essentially.
I'm gonna pull out the bow and just lean up against the door and look at Corsic.
Okay, so you've got this little tiny 10-foot square. You can't fit more than 2 people
Yeah.
in this. Well, yeah. Unfortunately, you can't fit more than 2 people inside that 10-foot square without crowding or anything like that. So,
You
of course,
waiting for him.
Reach the full rope to get that thing down. Anyway,
what's that?
we can't reach that full rope to get it down.
She untied the rope from the beam.
At the oh, at the beam.
Yeah,
you
down
untied it.
to
I thought you
yourself.
untied it from its neck. Okay.
You've got the rope.
Oh,
It's
good.
about a 5 foot or so.
I didn't want it hanging himself again while we're going.
Dang it! Crunch!
We need to go through the door.
okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess at this point we have to try and burst the door. I didn't get a chance to like creak it open and look, but
Well, do you want to try to creak it open and take a look?
at least for a second, because I don't know whether they're gonna have him with like a knife to his throat or something. If he just charge out there, he's just gonna go. Nyeh.
That's
Kill
Alright,
him.
so
So-
do a stealth.
Then we have a knife.
Can you just like hold my arm and use it stealth for me? Right, thank you.
Busted. Somebody played around to my backyard.
Okay.
Just obsessed with.
All right, 17 for stealth.
17
One round. What do you mean?
You crack open the door, Corsic, and you can see the very large courtyard. And across the courtyard, you have a ring of what look to be several werewolves. I believe there is a well right about there in the courtyard. They're kneeling on the ground in front of the 2 larger size hybrid werewolves. You see what appears to be a little boy, approximately 14 years old. He's got his head down, he's on his knees. He looks completely and utterly defeated. The pack leader sees the door open, sees you in the doorway.
Come out, or he dies.
I'm gonna pull my stone out just because I'm hoping for a miracle right now. Just be ready with it.
Isn't it already on your staff?
No, she's been
For
wearing
these
it.
purposes.
Oh.
Switching and then going out.
Okay. So I'll
So
kind of push the
you're-
door open and I'll start walking out.
Okay.
I guess we're walking out.
Alright. I wasn't expecting that, but alright.
If
Well,
it's saving Peter's life, yes, we are not gonna do anything. This is a
Corsic.
He was going out, so I mean, we're.
fragile situation right now.
Very well. You will come out.
No, I'm already outside. It's not.
Okay.
It's not a fine, it's an okay.
Yeah.
Okay, your eraser. You want duplicates gone. Alright.
Death to
There's
the
2 of
team.
us. Okay. So at this point in time, you're going to see this pact that had been back here dealing with the storm. They're going to start to appear through the doorway itself. You can see them gathering up, but they are staying on the outside of the gate. You know, you are looking out that direction. They see you. The wolves that are currently, or the hybrid werewolves in the courtyard, don't seem to be really caring about that.
And since you're clearly in a confrontation, let's get into shit out. Because I'm ready this time.
Hey.
Alright, anybody above 20? Of course you are. Anybody else above 20? Anybody at 20? 19.
Hello.
I got this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Alright, okay, 19, 18, 17. You're at 18? Okay, well you're going after that because I say so. 17. 16.
16.
16.
15.
Yeah, nope, I'm
14.
14.
13. Is that everybody?
No.
12. 11. 10. 9.
9.
Yeah, you can beat them. That's fine. They'll just all
Sit.
be together.
Why are you sitting in your dice bag?
Ah.
That sounds terrible.
Pretty frank. Reckless.
Wow.
I split him up because he's
Okay.
separate.
Holy wow.
Okay.
And then I circled the wrong one and gave the HP to the wrong one.
Okay.
I'm smart. We're switching.
Alright, so you guys come out of the courtyard. I thought it was number 2.
It
This-
was. But
This
it's
one here has got his foot on the back of Peter and pushes him down to the ground.
You've given us quite the chase. Half the pack is missing or dead.
So how is this to end? With a coward killing a defenseless man? Or with a challenge?
Here's no defenseless man. He broke pact law. You know of all pact law above all.
I do.
He is one of us. He does what I say.
Unless you are not around to say any more.
At that, do a perception check.
These dice are shit.
Do I notice this?
Do a perception check.
It's
Passive of 24?
Do an active.
That's a total of 8.
19.
19.
Kind of fun. I'll try it out. Thank you.
There are a lot of werewolves outside the gate, of course. They currently have much superior numbers, and they seem to all be following his orders. Arrow. All of the ones inside the courtyard, when he said that, all kind of. The ones outside the courtyard seem to just kind of like look in his direction and back at the group.
So we have 2 alpha.
The law says the pack must follow your lead because you are alpha. But if someone challenges your alpha status, then the new alpha must be declared before they can follow any more orders.
My kin will only follow one of my kind. You are not werewolf. They will not follow you.
They might follow him.
I'll point at Peter.
I really expected you to offer to let him bite you.
Well,
here.
Keela speaks up and says, Horstick, you're gonna get fucking killed, idiot.
He's not in a very good position right now, and you're
You know,
giving him a reason.
No, I know you're playing your character. Let me play Keela. It's not meant offensive.
no, it's fine. It's
Okay.
fine. I'm trying to think of how I should have played.
It's okay. It's alright. It's alright. No worries. I get where you're coming from, and I'm trying to be a little reactive, but stay in everybody's character at the same time. It's a difficult place to be.
I do have a thing that I want to look up real quick just to see if I can.
Does anybody else know anything about pack law that can help me
Just
out here?
yeah, 1 second.
In player knowledge, I don't know much.
Are any of you werewolves?
So that's the reason I'm looking at this. 1 second. I'm gonna cast Disguise Self on myself to turn into a stunty hybrid werewolf.
Interesting.
disguise yourself as a werewolf.
A stunty hybrid werewolf, yes.
Okay.
We can grow a foot with that
Okay.
Mhm.
spell, right?
Yeah.
The-
it's stunty.
The pact leader.
Nice trick. I would smell it on
Think what you want.
you. You have brought so much pain and suffering to this land. You say, my lord and master Strahd is the evil one, but look at the things you have done.
Yes, look at what we've done. We've restored hope to the land.
Do a persuasion.
Yay, we yell at each other soon.
Yes. We restored the skull of Argynvost to its rightful place. We stand as beacons against the tyranny of Strahd. You stand only to gain from your selfish whims.
I have a brilliant idea. If you want him so bad, you can have him. Give me the girl. It will be far better punishment for him to watch her torn asunder.
I'm gonna run up so that I can get 2, 3, and 4 at the end of Burning Hands, and I'm going to burn them alive.
Thank you.
Roll initiative! Wait, we already got that.
We already did that.
I thought we were in initiative, so I was waiting my turn.
Oh.
Yeah, right, there's just one at the end. Alright, and Peter was on the ground, so she doesn't bonus head.
Alright.
I know!
Four.
I fucking hate this.
That's gonna be a 14, an
Fail.
awful,
Fail.
and a 15.
Meats.
Okay, so
46 fire damage.
8.
8.
4. Okay, so we got 8. We got
That's the
4,
era.
8.
Okay.
Try and get Peter out of range so they don't kill him.
Instances here.
What is this?
Kill them. Leave the girl alive.
Yeah.
You touch her, you
Okay.
die.
Floor and perception check.
Oh, that's not awful.
12. The group of werewolves standing outside the gates did not move when he said kill them.
24 to hit, number 2.
A little bit.
That was 16.
Okay, and that's your magical hand now?
Yes, 16 or 17 to hit.
Oh, 70, yeah, 70 on
And then the extra attack from the Dread Ambusher.
that.
It's cocked. 21 to hit.
Okay.
This is the first round of combat. I've gone before it, so they're auto crits if I hit. So
Okay.
it's going to be
A lot of damage?
2d6 3 times plus the strength. So
Is it all with your magical weapon?
yeah, because I use the bonus action to get up to 1.
Okay.
So
Okay.
7.
I'm getting ready.
Okay.
7?
7 magical slashing.
That was a question or not.
Well, Jesus.
8, or no, the first one, yeah, 7 again. And then 9 magical slashing.
Okay, so 23 total. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he rolled a 2 and a 1.
Two looks unhappy.
Which one is the leader, by the way?
3.
Three.
I put the.
Yeah, I figured, but I wanted to make sure.
They were just, yeah, earlier, like.
Alright.
Now it's the bad guys.
Florin. There is a sharp tug and a gasp from beside you from Keela. Coming out of, I don't even know his name. I'm just gonna there, we'll put a circle with a star in it. Walking out of the abbey comes the figure that you guys had lowered from the rope. He is glowing a bright gold color. The 2 stunted wings on his back, you can actually see like translucent where they might have actually been flapping at this moment in time, but they're not actually there. He points his finger. at Peter. He says, "May my life guide yours." And he slumps to the ground in a pile. You see this bright light streak from him across the battlefield and enter Peter, who instantly looks a whole lot better and a whole lot bigger.
You get puberty.
Just like.
You're up. You can feel free to.
Sorry.
Well, number 3 is what the hell just happened. Let's see if he is shocked. No, he's not shocked. Of course, I waste that. So he's gonna hit Peter a couple times.
Give him the same amount you
Yeah.
did. Okay.
Let's see who would be over here. The other. That's a hit. That's a hit.
I was like, why are you getting? Oh.
Dang. There goes my plan. Was totally like a coward plan.
Not really, but you know.
No.
For the sake of it, right?
Mentioned them.
Cool.
But I was able
Brackus.
I'm gonna move 30 feet towards them.
Okay, where do you want to be?
Right where you had it there. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it's 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still not my
11?
11 is gonna miss in hybrid form.
And 15.
On number 5. Okay, that hits.
11.
Alright. Anything else? That's your silly magic sword. Okay. Lawrence.
I'm gonna use my bonus action.
Expeditiously retreat by going
Expeditious forward. Drop it to then cast a new concentration spell of Spirit Guardians.
Here.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry, here. Just parenting.
No.
I'm trying to parent.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
I need that first, and then
I think it's 10, isn't it?
Probably on accident. 15. I know. Is she working off of it? And you're last, so you have like 2 minutes.
And of course, I will have it not target anyone I can see of friends
What about Peter?
and Peter.
But he's red.
I know.
Yeah, why is he red?
He's a werewolf, and we weren't entirely sure what you guys were going to do, okay?
Because you always do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
All we need
Hi,
to kill
who
him.
does crazy
We're tired of
stuff?
chasing you all over the map.
Well, you know what? That's actually sound logical because if you make him an enemy, then we actually might not kill him.
Oh, that's my
Crazy thing, you know,
that's
the
my
opposite.
full round.
Okay, alright. When a creature enters for the first time or starts its turn there, then it just sees whether or not it's affected.
Yep.
Cool, Corsic.
Alright, so,
Shiny sword.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna, my shiny sword.
Okay.
I'm gonna move 40 up to my full
10,
movement
15,
up to
20, 30, 35, 40.
40. Yeah, sure, right there.
You want to take on leader boy, or you want to take on number 2?
I'll take on leader boy actually.
Are you
Sure.
That's a good idea.
Actually, no, I'll take on 2. And
Okay.
as I run up there, I will say, I'll yell at him as I start my rage.
Okay.
This is your last chance to surrender. Or
And then I've already.
This is your last chance to.
Yeah, exactly. This is your last chance to choke before you die.
And can you do me a favor?
Okay.
Swinging.
You know what I meant. This
Yeah.
last chance to surrender. or
Number
die.
1 and 2.
Alright, so swing. Sure, I'm gonna go ahead and attack recklessly.
Alright, go for it.
About time I do it. You gotta hit me somehow. Alright, so plus 10, it's a 16.
Yeah, that hit. A little
Okay.
bit.
2d6
Alright, yeah, 2d6 plus 5.
plus 9 plus 2.
So plus 7.
Yeah.
2d6 plus 7.
Alright, so.
The damage is also to hit. And
Oh, is it?
finish.
Oh, okay. So then it's plus 9, so 7 plus 9 is 16.
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah, he did.
Alright.
And you said before I rage, I'm going to say
Okay.
this is
Yeah.
your last turn.
Alright.
Go ahead and make your second attack.
Yes.
Mm.
Alright, that's going to be a 24.
Yeah. Okay. Roll your damage plus 9.
Another 16.
You had more dice pluses than it had.
Then number 1, because you just killed number 2. It has Arag or Baracus.
Alright. Hello! Bite 19.
Yep.
Ouch.
7 piercing.
Oh, yeah.
Claws 23.
Say something. Open your mouth.
Sentinel. Which does what?
Which,
Gives you an attack if it attacks something within 5 feet of you. So
I'm gonna give you your damage because then we'll be done with that.
Sorry.
That's 9 more on yours, Arg. 16 hits.
number 1 takes
A lot.
10.
10. Okay. Reaction is gone. Baracus.
Forlorn.
Rogue. Forlorn.
Alright. Tell Keela to stay here where it's safe.
You can multi-class.
She drops to her knees and seems to be comforting the
Okay.
thing that just came out of the agony. Yeah,
There you go.
the lack of a better term.
30.
Okay.
When I get here, I'm gonna look to these guys and go. We fight for freedom in this land. And I wanna double my movement. And I get through these guys to right here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna quicken lightning bolt. I don't know what I'm gonna get.
So
Move,
it's going
action,
to
bonus action.
it's going to hit Peter. Unfortunately, it is 5 feet wide, and it is not like you getting here, aiming this way. Yeah, that's going to hit Peter. Number 3, number 4, and number 8.
You can do it the other way and shoot the wall and get 1, 5, and 7. Because there's a wall there.
Dexterity saving
Take a little bit of a
all
zip.
of them. Roll your damage.
Peter,
It is what it
natural
is.
20.
Oh, there you go.
It's gonna hit Peter and it's also gonna hit number 6.
No,
3,
No.
4, and 8. It would either be just 3 and 4, or 3, 4, Peter, and 8. Like, you
Yeah.
can aim it
That's
left.
To miss, but he's got, you have natural 20, so take that thing. He's a werewolf, calm down. Alright,
I'm just asking.
Let me roll for 3, 4, and 8 before I forget to.
3, massive failure. 4, 16, which is a pass, I believe. And 5, massive failure, which was almost a good pass. Alright. So which one did I say pass? 4 pass.
Alright, you got your 86. Okay, well, if you knew the spell you rank at, it's 86. What are you rolling d8 for?
I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
What's your extra zips?
I'm casting a rogue.
Yeah, I know. 2, 4,
6, 8.
8,
Really did like
18. 9, plus anything within 10 feet.
Anything within 10 feet of you?
Yeah, so.
Creatures of my choice that I can see within 10 feet of me take lightning damage equal to half my level. So
it's like all
Number 3 and number 4?
9, 33, 132, 33 lightning damage.
2, 3, 4. And what's the lightning damage? Just your level.
29.
What's your
4.
just 4? Okay, so 4 points is going to get applied to
Mhm.
1, 5, and 7. Because they are
They're
within 10
of
feet.
me, erupts in
of her.
every direction.
Okay. Hold on. 4, 4.
We gotta make sure it gets to apply to the right critter in the right order.
Yeah. That's actually 19. Okay, Peter passed. Peter's taken.
And you not choosing Peter, obviously, to take the extra
Correct.
lightning damage.
Because that's I have control over that one.
Alright, so number 4 is going to come over here and bite at Malorn.
Cool, sounds good.
And Malorn.
Cool, natural 20
Which
on the
one?
first one. Does that
Number
work
4.
on yourself?
Wait, he's got to do a
He's
wisdom
got
save.
half movement. He just stepped over to it.
It's 10 feet.
Okay, well then that should have been what you rolled first. So natural 20,
Yep.
half damage of 3d8.
No, it's for the save.
Right?
Oh, alright.
So 3d8 for your spirit guardian.
Attack on me.
3d8 on damage.
He tried to make it back.
Yeah,
Oh, could have been better. It was 5.
So 2. 3. Okay. Alright. And number 4 does close.
wasting my time. Natural 20 again. Does that work on yourself?
It says any attack.
That you can see?
Yeah. What was it?
Alright.
I want
See
to
something
say.
hitting you.
Oh, here.
Never
I want
find
it.
the bill
Cleric of
again.
the grave,
I
right?
want it right here too.
I assume it works. Fuck me. 4, so yeah, 4. Because you don't get to have it.
Grave domain.
Like I say, learn your abilities. We're going to ask these questions.
No, I'm saying yes, but you guys.
When a creature you or when you or a creature you can see.
Okay. 4 damage to you. And 5.
Wait. He's got to take 4 points of damage and a
Yeah, I'm getting
concentration
there.
check on
Finding a pencil.
his spirit. He's got it.
Shit.
Oh!
Well,
I could have kept
What'd you get?
going.
I get it's a con save or
Yes,
just a roll?
con save.
So 5.
So no spirit guardians.
Well, anyone else in that group that was going to be in the same action
8. 4 through 8.
Yeah.
would
So-
get that right before it goes away?
They all start their turn at the same time.
Yeah. So
Wait.
6 and 8.
Alright.
Because 5 and 7 are out of it.
Yep.
Alright, I'll just do all their saves. 6 is Constitution?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Oh.
That's a failure.
And 10. So yeah, they both fail.
So 3 points of damage because you already rolled the damage. Because it was 5.
Yeah, so they'll both take full.
Yeah.
6 and 8.
Not nothing.
Yeah, it's something.
Alright.
Cast it.
Okay. So then they all take their turns.
Alright, so 6 can attack
6 will
more.
attack twice. 19.
Yeah.
4 damage. And 19 plus modifiers. So 6 more damage. 8 would probably move up to him because he's the closest. Yes, let's kill the cleric. Oh, that misses. That's the same thing. Why would you roll the same thing twice?
Alright, 5.
5 is going to attack Baracus because the other one was picking on Haru. He fares there. 16?
Yes.
17.
Yes. Number 7, move forward to.
Yep.
Yeah,
same
mage
thing.
armor.
2 more tries. 20 modified.
Oh,
5
Yeah.
damage.
alright.
And
I'm so
21 modified.
Yeah.
6.
Okay.
Alright. Peter.
Peter's going to use that
Peter.
to stand up and going to grab him.
Athos. Oh yeah, he
Thunder.
Peter, werewolf Peter.
He's gonna stand up and
You see, as he stands up, the claws on Peter's left and right hands are giving off this soft glow.
You'll never harm my sister.
he's gonna try to hit him really hard. He's gonna be so focused on hitting him really hard it doesn't work on the first one, but the second one is going to, and he hits him so hard it actually knocks him back, and Peter's just gonna follow him. So he's gonna go like 10
Yay!
feet
No
away.
attacks of opportunity when I move.
And he's gonna roll his damage, which is a lot.
Well,
Peter's attacks are magical for this, and the other ones aren't.
Alright, Destiny.
Got a werewolf right there in your face.
Stab
Step number 4 with the silver short sword.
And I'm gonna move up and through doors number 3.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30?
Yep.
Okay.
Stab 4, right?
Yep.
I was gonna say, you
13
changed,
hits.
you changed his number to 2.
No, there's a 3 there.
Oh.
It was covered by the box.
24.
Silver.
Yep.
Silver on number 4.
Cool. He's in bad shape.
Wait, number 4 or number 3?
She hit 4 so that she could move without getting opportunity.
Oh, alright.
She's a swashbuckler.
Yes. I know I have. I love it.
Alright. That was 4 through 8. And Destiny. Alright.
Bonus action on number 1, Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
I get to swing him.
He would.
That's a 23.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just completely.
12. And second for 23 again. 13.
Magical hand axes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy except for the clone of me that's down by the door still.
And Malorn.
Yeah.
No, that's cute.
Okay. Alright, 3 is gonna whack away at Peter
Come on, you big cake.
semi-successfully.
Business.
Brackus.
Number 5 is still there. That is a 14 to hit.
Hit.
7.
This is number 5.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Keep going.
And modified 20 to hit. 13.
Bloody.
And bonus action cursing.
Curse number 3.
Yes.
Okay.
What, you think he's gonna certainly die and you want 3 hit points? Malorn.
You just like,
Malorn, what do you got?
It has to be a little.
oh.
I'm gonna reach out. Let's see, 4 or 8. Well, number 4 just got shanked.
You're in a murder suit.
Yeah.
I am, so I need to try to do something. But I'm gonna reach out and touch number 4, vampiric touch.
Ooh, rude. Get him.
8, no, 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a large difference. 8 to 21.
He's subtracted rather than added.
It's plus 8.
Yeah.
For
8 on top of 13.
Yeah.
Alright, that's good.
You're hitting number 4?
8. No. There's 36.
3 to 6 necrotic damage.
Necrotic, and I heal half of it.
Nice.
13.
Super dead, you regain 7 HP. In fact, beyond being dead, it turns back into the human it used to be and then shrivels a bit as you pull just a little bit more life out.
Alright, Lauren, any bonus action?
No.
Corsic.
Alright.
There's
So,
nobody near you, buddy.
well, so I'm gonna go help out my my big burly friend over here. I'm
There,
gonna,
or you want to go all the way around?
I'm gonna go around to the other side of the gate.
Oh, turn the murder banana into a murder sandwich the other way.
Yeah. The dinner table has turned.
Okay. These jokes are so bad I can barely stand them.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, so
Don't you dare!
we're back on 8. Reckless. Alright, so that's gonna be 25.
Yep.
Nah.
It's gonna be modified 20 on the second one.
Yeah, okay. 2d6 plus 9 for the first hit.
Twice.
Wow!
That's 11. And
So 11.
11?
So 2 plus
9 is 11.
Yeah.
Do it
Wow,
again.
that's
Do it
actually
again.
cool. Alright.
Do it again.
Alright, so 7 plus
16.
9 is 16.
Yeah, the last one you killed had 11 HP. You had more dice and additives than it had HP.
Did the first guy kill the first one?
Yeah.
No, the one you killed before, number 2.
Oh, I was gonna say.
No bonus actions because
I'm raging, yeah.
Yeah, you're ready. And then
Number 1.
Number 1's got Era, Florin, and Barakos all around it.
One at each. Arg and Florn.
Alright.
Bite at Arg. See, yeah, that doesn't go well. Claw at Florn's also not going well. Florn, your turn.
I'm gonna use my fly speed
Mm-hmm.
to. Okay, I'm gonna go
not bad. Cool.
She has flyby for 10 feet.
I have flyby, and then I'm going to try to get Malorn out of here.
Multi-firewall. Honor.
No,
Okay.
I'm going to use my 4th level spell slot to cast Thunderstep and grab Malorn. Trust me, and
Which is gonna get number 8 to number 6, but not Corsi because on the other side. So they must make
Constitution save.
Saves. That's awful. That's also the same number. Why do you keep doing your fire? You were fired earlier. You can go on.
Double fire.
Where are you going to wind up?
I'm going to wind up. We're about there. And we can still cast things and see.
25 plus your bonuses.
I don't think she has one.
Thank you, ma'am.
What?
25?
That's 30.
10 plus.
10, 20, 15, 35.
Oh, I didn't see the third die. Or the fourth die. I only saw 3.
35 thunder damage?
8 is
Yes.
super dead.
Okay. The body goes flying this way.
Thunderstep with a
Was I within
another
the
10?
range?
No. You
Of course, they
Two
do an
tens.
dexterity save. Not hit by the arm. She just
Destroyed
destroyed
it.
have 37, throw at advantage.
I just catch it in my teeth like a French dancer.
Are you doing anything else on your turn?
Oh, wait.
Lauren, anything else on your turn?
No.
Okay.
Woo,
5,
yeah,
6,
there
and
you go.
7 are up.
All right, I got a 21, so I'm good.
5. And Sax Baracus?
Yep. Practice.
Yeah.
You 22.
Oh, God.
4 damage.
I already know.
Okay.
That dice too.
I actually.
This one?
Yes.
It was doing fine earlier. 18?
No.
Seriously?
And, from the first hit, I already rebuke.
Alright, that's the hellish rebuke, so dexterity saving throw.
It doesn't matter.
Now let me find
No.
that spell.
3d10 for the racial ability.
Are you using the racial or is it the spell?
No, it's the racial.
Okay.
3d10 save of 13, 12 or 13.
So he failed his
I
save.
failed either way. Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's
17.
Okay, 6 and 7.
Where are they?
Wait, one of them died.
8 die.
8 died.
Seven died.
We're missing
On Baracus.
Oh, that's a 7. Okay, it looks like something else. Okay.
That's a 7.
Alright, 7 on
I
Baracus.
see it now.
Natural 1. Yeah. 18 again.
That sucks.
And 6 on Corsic.
You went reckless, you have advantage.
I do. That's a 14, so that's gonna be 14. 18 to hit?
Yes.
That's,
No.
yeah, that's after.
That's
you have
after
to-
I
Oh,
wrote
okay.
it. I changed it.
3 damage. Now you said
So
something.
1 damage.
Yeah, 2, we round up.
2.
2, and then another advantage attack
Yeah,
against it.
another advantage. Natural 1 and a 2.
What is that? Dice!
2.
Golly!
I think I'm going with the Great Destiny over here. Like, come on.
Peter's
You received a flare for that.
completely obliterate this guy.
This
No,
was
that was so
yours.
close.
This was
You only hit him
eight.
once. Pretty good. Alright.
Or you just apply the shield.
She can imply.
Okay. Destiny.
Scam. Stat number 3, silver short sword.
Mm-hmm. Square.
21.
Little
Yes.
bit.
She's got that for the damage. I believe is what that spot is for.
25.
High level rogues. Ouch. Okay. Yeah, number 3's not looking good at all.
Defense weapon, I'll go nuts too.
You keep saying number 3. Number 3 is. Oh,
I'll run.
come on.
I'm
big.
swing.
Which one?
Let me do one.
26.
Which one?
Number 1.
Okay. That's a hit.
8.
Okay.
And then second.
That's bad.
That is unfortunately a 9.
That's gonna miss.
I'm gonna try swinging it with a non-magical hand axe.
Okay.
And that is a 8.
That's gonna miss as well. Number 3 is gonna smack Destiny because he thinks he's outmatched by Peter. 16. So natural 20.
That's too far.
Damn it,
away.
Jim.
5, 10, 15, 30.
I love Thunderstep. Thunderstep is the best spell ever.
You saw it happen.
16 damage.
Oh, that's not.
I don't know how this
Wait.
shit works.
Yeah, I know. So 8.
Aw,
screw you.
Oh, you know that he says no.
Right now you're thinking,
When did you stop that?
Be rude.
I just know if I left him there, he might have died, and then
brackets.
nothing works.
Yes.
Number 5, 1, or 7? Number 5.
It's a 15 to hit.
Yep.
13.
Super dead.
Yay! Alright.
Got number 7 or number 1?
7?
Yeah.
7, that's a 7.
Okay, alright.
It's an Egyptian 7.
22.
22 to hit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
There.
12.
Yes. Yeah, it's actually 11. With
That's
I'm gonna call it official.
sentence.
Alright.
Lauren.
It's Maui's
Alright.
Yeah.
I will move
Back up to 6.
closer to the, up into the middle, 2 more, yeah, right there.
Okay.
And,
Concentration, isn't it? No, I don't think so.
What? Yeah, it is. You can use it every turn as a melee attack. For 10 turns. Unless you
I'll go to 6 instead then.
Okay.
That's my melee attack. I thought it was an instantaneous.
No.
Alright,
No.
thank you.
yeah, I'll touch him again.
Reach out, touch him.
Oh,
Bad touch, bad touch!
18 plus 8.
Aww.
So,
I'm not playing by my rules.
Strahd says no.
yeah.
Actually,
Shush your mouth! Shush your goddamn face!
11.
11. Which one are you hitting again? 6? Cool. So you
Do you want us to
regain
die?
6 HP.
I mean, he's right there.
number 6 is right in front of
Oh,
us.
he's still alive?
Yeah.
Man, Lauren, you're slacking, dude. Come on.
what?
Huh? He drained the life from him.
Yeah, what do you do?
He didn't do life transference and kill himself.
Alright, so can I, because I have 2 attacks, can I attack? And if he kills it, can I move?
Yes,
the
you
target?
can.
Okay.
Come on.
Alright, we got a 22 to hit.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and just do that. That's gonna be
You can't
a
possibly not kill it.
17, yeah.
Okay, there.
Where are you
Okay.
going?
I'm gonna go over to. I'm gonna go over to 7 around the other
5,
side.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah! Oh, massacre is. Oh, so close. Okay, yeah, that's a
29?
29 to hit.
Yeah, okay.
29?
Yeah.
It's got a plus 10.
I'll roll 19.
19.
Alright, that's 19 damage as well.
He's fine.
Okay.
He's not even bloody yet. He was the first lieutenant, and nobody bothered to ask him. Number 1.
Number 1's
Number
got
one.
Eric.
Cool. It's gonna try to hurt Ryder. It's gonna fail.
Don't you still look like a werewolf?
Yes.
Like a stunty werewolf?
Modified 20.
Sure.
No.
6 damage.
Okay.
Full arm.
Concentration check for 100 smart.
Yes. 20.
You're fine, but it has to happen. We all forget those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
So, Florin, what are you doing?
Second level chaos bolt at number 1.
Okay.
Half cover.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a flower in the way.
It's a 10, it doesn't matter.
10? No, 10 was gonna miss either way. Alright, cool. Anything else? Alright. 4 through 8, only one of which is alive. That would be 7.
She's got Corsic that
35
just
that you just rolled?
really kicked the crap out of it.
Yeah, it's gonna go after Corsic now.
Advantage.
Can't focus on the
Did
bad.
you go reckless?
Yeah, he did. He
I
did.
did. I didn't say it, but I rolled 2 dice, so
Yes.
yes.
19.
Hits.
4 damage.
Okay.
And then reckless attack, so gets advantage on the second one. 18?
Yep.
10. Max damage on that.
7 total.
Yeah, probably. Alright, and Peter.
Peter's gonna,
I'm actually able to kill these things now.
Peter's gonna flail.
yeah, he's gonna miss both times, unfortunately. Destiny.
Use magic for attempt to grapple number 3 to help Peter.
Alright, make an athletics check, and then, contested athletics check with the werewolf. Oh.
17.
15.
Alright. You pull out the rope and slip it over the back of the werewolf that is, currently concentrating on.
Dancing with him a little bit.
Yeah, concentrating on Peter. he's got one arm that's through the rope that just basically had hit Peter. You managed to get it around there. The rope begins to glow, and you can hear this like sound in the actual werewolf itself.
Oh no. Hopefully Peter can take it out fast. Otherwise this might...
Yeah. So you've got him grappled. He's got no speed. He can't get away right at this moment in time. Eric.
Swing at number 1.
Okay. Didn't you kill this one already? Didn't you been working on this one for a while?
17.
Yeah.
17 to hit? Yeah.
Ooh. 15.
Super dead.
Woohoo!
Well,
I'm going to mark 7 as a bonus action, step up to him, and take a whack.
Now he's in a murder sandwich.
Murder scene.
It's a 9.
okay, that's gonna miss.
We're gonna have this battle turned out.
Where were we? That was you. Alright, number 3 is going to use his action to try to get the owie burning rope off after he takes 4 damage.
Alright. Do contested athletics.
How bad?
11.
You still have
Baracus.
Peter
Damn.
advantage or something.
Baracus.
Well, it's not Peter's turn yet. So.
I know.
Rockus, you have number 7 in front of you.
Yes. That's a 13?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yay. That's 7.
Bloody now.
Oh,
And you don't want to talk about it. Okay. We don't either. Horn.
Range for that, I think so.
5, 10, 15,
Yeah,
20
20
feet. Yeah, for both.
Yeah, everyone, mass healing word.
Yay. Sweet.
How many people?
6.
Up to 6.
1,
So,
2,
all
3,
of us.
4, 5, 6.
Everyone except Peter.
Everyone but Peter?
Don't heal
Well,
me. Well,
Keela doesn't need it
No.
over there, so.
I don't
3,
need it.
4,
I've only lost
6.
14 hit points, so...
And Forlorn back there doesn't need it, so
I
yeah,
know.
I'll hit Peter with
Okay.
it too.
How much?
It is
1d4 plus your modifier.
Okay, great.
so 8.
And I believe you heal some as well.
Yeah, I 1 more.
Okay.
Now it's max.
Uh-oh.
Corsic.
Oh, no.
Unless you got something else.
Erase a hole in my sheet here.
Well, maybe you should write it down somewhere else.
And I will move to
Also,
uh, 2 spots closer to Peter.
5, 10.
Yeah, sure.
Corsic.
Okay, so hopefully I'm going to finish this bad boy off.
Maybe reckless, great sword attack.
Yeah.
So you get 9s out of that.
Your time is now!
42. Yeah, you could kill him. if you roll.
Natural 20.
Or if you do that.
So 4d6 plus 9.
Plus the extra one for being a half-orc.
So 5d6.
So you get to do roll
What'd you say,
damage
wasn't
for a turn.
Wow!
God.
Like,
Almost.
1.5. Okay, so that's
20.
12, 15 plus 9.
24.
Is that also dead double?
No, the modifier's not
Just
okay.
the
so
dice.
just the
Yeah.
dice.
15 plus 9 is 24.
Okay, make your second attack.
Took him from barely bloody to barely alive. Barely.
One from a natural 20, natural 1. Okay, that's going to be 23 to hit.
2d6 plus 9.
He's dead. You have more.
Yeah, 7 plus.
Yay!
Leaving only number 3. Alright, so number 1 doesn't get a turn 'cause he's dead. Forlorn, are you doing anything?
I'm gonna move Aquila and check out Angel Dive.
Okay.
I'm happy to see
Uh,
moving.
These guys are
His eyes are open, and he seems to be currently watching the battle over here. Keela's got his head in her lap. She seems really, really sad. Do a perception check.
12?
Okay, I'll get back to you.
Peter, with his advantage he has.
I think he's proficient in perception.
No.
Insight?
Insight would be 14.
14.
I am proficient in that.
Okay.
Peter is going to reach forward, grab both ends of the rope from the opposite side so that it's around his neck,
No one hurts my Keela!
Yay!
Head onto the ground. You can't spare the dead.
Well, I mean, technically, your head is still alive
That's
for a few
true.
seconds after it's decapitated. So,
Can't stabilize it.
The flooring, the abbot laying next to you on the ground seems to let out a deep sigh. He looks up at Keela, and there seems to be a connection. They recognize each other for just a moment. The abbot says, "We've done it, my love. They are finally free." And he expires in Keela's arms.
What? I'm gonna grab Peter and take him back over.
Peter shifts back down into his normal self. However, when he shifts down, he no longer looks like a teenage boy. He looks to be about 20 years old. A lot more muscular built. He seems to have aged.
Shazam!
He runs over to Keela, slides
I'm
down.
gonna drop to my knees and just.
Destiny, the back of your mind opens up, and a voice inside your head rings true. A female voice speaks to you. You have done your destiny. Your life is your own.
I'm going to literally flare up and do a little tiny little bit of a happy dance, and then run over and see how Keela's doing.
All right. As you are approaching Keela, you've got the rope in your hands. It begins to shrink. I didn't really talk with you with this, but if you don't have anything,
This is not my
specific.
destiny.
Bird.
I forget what.
That's not my destiny.
I forgot what we were talking about. So okay. All right.
psych.
Just kidding.
I might have ruined something Justin had planned, and I forget. I'm sorry.
That didn't happen.
Just turn into that and figure out what else I need to do anymore. That's her destiny.
Her?
Saving Keela.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm just kidding. Thank goodness. Okay. All right. Your rope in your hand shrinks down into a stone, the exact same size as the one that Baracus holds,
Hey!
and
Yeah,
flooring
stone.
stones. It is white. It is glowing, very, very bright. You feel very peaceful holding this stone. As you approach towards the abbot and the front door of the abbey, everyone watches Keela begin to grow and get older. In front of your very eyes, her robes change. 2 large wings sprout out from behind her, and you see this figure where she was.
I'm gonna give her a hug.
I'm guessing.
Roll to hug.
She
9 plus something.
She brings you in close and says, "Forgive my deception. It was necessary to be able to save him." And she gestures to the form lying on the ground.
Has he been saved?
He is at rest. He has returned home, and she reaches out and touches the amulet. And as she touches the amulet, the fingertip begins to fade slowly. She says, "I must return as well to my plane of existence. I can no longer stay here with you.
As long as you're safe.
I will be safe. Be wary, though. Things are no longer in your favor, and I believe he is coming." Her arm begins to fade, and she kind of shrinks down inside the stone, and the glow begins to fade from the stone. But Destiny does look down, and she does have a bit of cord tied around her waist.
To be determined.
Okay.
to be determined as to what that magical item does, but she has a stone that does seem to open up a different plane of existence than
This
Marcus's
one.
and
And
Florence's
Fight,
stone.
fight!
I don't see you two being best buds.
Yeah.
You are out front of the abbey. Peter
Sense.
looks
Watching the
very, very
doorway where the other
confused.
werewolves were.
Mm-hmm. Kind of just standing there. Like,
I don't know.
She said she was your sister. What?
I thought she was my sister too.
She's safe, that's all that matters.
It is, but if she
She
wasn't,
just-
if she wasn't my sister, then who's my family? And the werewolves begin to slowly file into the actual courtyard. One of them steps forward and says, "We are without a leader. Perhaps we could be your family."
Push him a little bit.
Yeah.
Seems as though you have a destiny now.
I have a lot of things to think about because all my life, all I've known is her and my parents. My world is completely rocked. You say you are against Strahd. You say that you wish to free us from his curse.
Yes.
Fuck that douchebag. Everything to this point has been towards that goal, yes.
We lit the beacon to give people hope.
When you decide to confront him, I will be with my pact. We will be at the lair. Come find me. Perhaps I can be of some aid to you as you were very good aid to me.
I don't recall this group finding the lair. Have we done
I was
that?
about to ask about that.
You haven't found it.
Where it
You
is.
haven't found it.
Alright.
Yeah.
Where is the lair so that we may find you later?
There is a cave in the forest over here to the west, and he'll indicate on the
Big map.
big map. He will explain the location of the werewolf's den as being letter Z. Here, up here, there's a little hole.
Not too far.
You can literally tell from there that he says, "Look for the large cave that looks like a wolf snout," and that is where we are.
Sounds like a plan. Get you and your people under wraps, and we will find you when the time is right.
Peter says, "We can do that." As you guys are standing there, the clouds around you begin to darken, and the light begins to get dimmer and dimmer. You hear this loud sound of thunder, followed by a lightning bolt that shoots over the top of the abbey itself. You can hear a loud, deep voice.
You dare light the beacon, I will hunt you down.
It just echoes throughout the land of Barovian.
Say that.
Bring it on, babyface! Bring it!
I'm still waiting for that nightmare.
Yeah.
Still waiting for it.
We have a half hour left. What do you guys want to do now?
I don't want to look for a weapon.
I do want to ask Peter if, because he has been able to avoid it, but I don't know about the rest of the pack. Are they in any way under Strahd's influence that he knows of?
I believe that you've killed all the ones that were loyal to Strahd. He gestures to the bodies. Most of the pack was split. Some of them are still very young. You can see little, like, teenage kids with them and whatnot. And with time, we can bring them under not his influence.
Good. That was very important.
Well,
The one that you killed, the alpha, he was very loyal, and his friends were loyal to Strahd.
nobody's gonna stand up to him until someone else stood up.
Yeah. Just making sure.
Keep them on the right track or I'll cut their fucking heads off.
We can see who's still here in the
I'll
abbey.
do what I can.
The abbey seems secured, and we can see if there's anyone still living here. I know what used to be here.
The Peter takes a second and like shifts into werewolf form, and he. This place is overrun by undead, but I do not believe that this location holds any undead or living. I cannot smell any, except for you. I believe this place to be abandoned.
Pull them together and I can try to destroy some.
Ask Peter, are there any more werewolves that are not in his pack fighting the undead?
He turns and gestures to one of the werewolves that comes over, and none of the pack remains fighting undead. They have all retreated or are here.
I have another question for Peter then. Keela had said, I'll pull out that new pendant that we found at Lathander and say, she had said that you had a friend that might need this.
He came through a very long time ago. He was looking for that, but after they left, this is when everything really went to crap.
Alright.
I haven't seen Crib in a very long time. I don't know where he could be right now.
Do you want this to maybe give to him if you see him, or should we hold on to it?
I think that you might have a greater chance of seeing him than I would ever see him. My plan is to settle with the pack and try to make some sort of a life for myself and figure out who I am now.
Is this someone we've seen that I...
The name Crib rings no bells to you.
How can we recognize him, and who
Did
is
you
he?
happen to see a blue dragonborn?
Oh,
He was an amazing creature.
Did he
this
travel
is
alone?
another group.
No, he traveled with others.
He had an entourage. I think they worshipped him because he was a dragon.
He was a really slow guy. He taught me everything I know.
So not.
Alright. Well, I can hold on to it.
In the meantime, it looks pretty.
We must return to our den. We have many things to figure out, and
Go in peace then.
be careful of the undead. When we leave, we will leave by the same route that we came, and we shouldn't attract any of their attention.
I guess they're trapped in here too. Within the walls, we can just leave them here, for that matter, for now. Try to clean them out later.
Yeah.
As long as they don't get out the gates.
He did not open the gates.
No, you did not open the gates.
No one did. Think of it. I don't know
I'm
if
gonna
they
start
did anything.
hauling around out here looking
Take it
for
away.
weapons.
Maybe search the chapel and see if there's anything in there of usefulness. Maybe search the chapel for anything of usefulness.
Looking around the abbey, it seems that most everything of value and usefulness was pretty much ransacked, except for the room where the abbey himself was hung.
Yeah.
It looks like looters have been through here for the most part, but you do see a large bell tower, and in the tower itself, a big bell. You imagine it would be for like ringing for mass or something like that. Could probably be heard for miles around. If you wanted to get some attention,
I mean,
that's where you
kind
go.
of. If you ring the bell, the undead come up the hill, yeah?
Yeah,
And then we
probably.
leave another way.
Leave them up here.
Don't you have a holy symbol?
I do. I can turn. Well, I can turn them, and then I myself can destroy them if they're weak enough.
But there's also an entire town's full of undead. It's not like a small.
I mean,
Well,
we
you
have a
group them
ball.
up. It hits all within 30 feet of me.
Everybody goes up on the palisade up here and
XP
rings the
farming,
thing, and
Yeah.
like all these zombies storm in. They're not smart enough to.
I would
climb.
really like to clear this place.
I feel like you would be compelled to do
Yeah,
something. Like,
I don't really want to leave them
This is
without a
good place.
promise to come back.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody begins making their way upstairs to the higher level, giving you an excellent vantage point, not only to pick off zombies as they're coming through the courtyard, but like you've got the courtyard down below you. You've got Maloran going to go over and ding 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 ding.
How high is that tower?
20 feet above the roof of the thing. So, ringing the dinner bell, you guys hear this
break
going,
while we wait.
yeah, you guys take a short rest while you wait.
Because they're slow.
I'm down 10.
I'm down 3.
I can spend one of my hit die.
Actually, we can do 2 destroy undeads. Short rest.
I've got 2 more radius. So I guess like I can try and do that long rest thing.
I
Oh,
don't think
Keela's
we
going.
need it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Huh?
Keela's going.
I can try and do that thing where we like take a rest or I can try to roll, see if I get enough sleep to get the benefits of long rest.
And yeah, if we don't get them all in the couple chances, the couple shots I have, if I can manage to get a short rest, I can try it a couple more times.
So, narratively, we're not going to make you guys fight an entire town of undead, along with the mongrel folk undead that were recently re-raised, which are the greater undead that are roaming the town. We're pretty much just going to say the massive herd of undead coming up the trail. You guys just begin cantripping and picking it off as they are making their way into the courtyard, and they're all like trying to get at you. You guys have the high ground. None of the zombies are smart enough to find the stairs or figure it out. They just see food. So pretty much you can just zap, 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 zap down the entire, Maloran with this holy symbol, foom, and like half the group is gone instantly, just dust on the ground.
Okay.
And yeah,
Works for me.
pretty much. At that point,
Maybe
in
stragglers, but most of them are gone.
yeah, you can just cantrip the greater zombies.
What I mean is like down, like things that got trapped in the buildings or in rooms and things
Yeah.
like that.
They all eventually would make their way. Even the ones that had no legs would take a really long time to get there. But you guys can just go down the path and just like blah 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 blah. It's dead. With that, I believe that Justin and I are willing to advance everyone a level. This is a story. This was a big storyline advancement.
Are we assuming long rests so we can advance? Because I know that
You may receive the benefits of a long rest and advance your characters. Clearly, he knows that you're in town.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly, he is going to be coming to hunt you down at some point in time. I would strongly suggest an expectation the very next time we meet, a fight is going to happen. And a fight with a particular...
we pissed him off! Good job, guys!
Woo!
Bye bye, John.
We're doing something right!
You can't.
I get nothing. Ooh, yes I do.
I like that.
Let's get... Oh, wow.
So I was thinking about going into 7th level barbarian, but all I get is feral instinct.
So it's level 6 druid.
It gives me advanced initiative, but
It's level 6 druid that can do magical attacks.
But that's also
A few levels.
Alright,
away.
Brackus rolling hit points, 2.
Okay.
Destiny rolling hit points, 5.
Hit point.
Lauren rolling hit points, 1. Reroll that. 2.
That's what happened the other day.
Corsic, 5. Era, 2. Wow, around the table.
Yeah, it's turned out to be this one.
sweet, I'm at exactly 100 hit points.
Holy smokes.
Right on.
It's funny, only 2 people rolled above 2 for this advancement. Yeah.
Also, I get games.
Yeah, that's
All that I seen everybody today.
Yeah.
not just
I
us.
almost fired a die today.
I'm probably going to go ahead and we're just going to do our character level up, and we'll stop the broadcast because we don't necessarily need the broadcast back. I hope everybody will join us in 2 weeks. We should be doing another Barovian Badasses on Sunday. Today's what, the 10th? So that'd be Sunday the 24th. We are also going to be at Cedro Woolly Market from 4 to 7 p.m. doing Dungeons, Dragons, and Drinks, where you guys can come and see some of our wonderful players that volunteer their time to entertain you guys. So we'll hope to see you there. And then on April 14th, we'll be at Farmstrong Brewery from 4 to 7 p.m. doing another Dungeons, Dragons, and Drinks. I hope everybody enjoyed today's session. I wasn't trying to necessarily railroad you guys into a zombie or a werewolf fight, but, you know, it worked out.
Hey, but we had fun, you know, screwing with your plans a little.
Yeah,
That's a hole in the wall.
A public service announcement. From what I understand, Justin and Julie are going through some difficult schedule changes, possibly-ish.
Potentially.
Okay, so the reason why we're advancing you guys is to try to actually close the campaign so we can actually finish something, finish the storyline.
I like it.
You know, and we can move on with other projects with those that are available, but, you know, we're actually trying to wrap this up. So we'll catch you guys hopefully in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.